important for us because design is like in the lifestyle. Desain ada di dalam kehidupan kita, di mana desain itu adalah memberikan arah, memberikan tren apa yang kita kerjakan dalam kehidupan, terutama yang terkait dengan lingkungan. Saat ini banyak desain diciptakan untuk lebih ramah lingkungan. Dan saat ini ada dua hal yang muncul dalam dunia desain. Yang pertama adalah desainer itu sendiri untuk mengeksplorasi bagaimana produk-produk desain itu bisa ramah lingkungan, memperhatikan isu-isu lingkungan yang terjadi. Karena keprihatinan ini telah disinyalir banyak orang, nanti di kemudian hari kita akan kehilangan apa yang dimaksud dengan natural ekologi. Nah, saat ini juga maraknya production, di mana di sana industrial produk ini sangat santer dilakukan. Kalau di dunia ini China adalah salah satu produsen desain produk terbesar di dunia. Kalau kita menengok pengalaman saya di dunia furniture, itu justru Asia Tenggara ini adalah Vietnam. Vietnam ini memiliki 6 kali lipat ekspornya dibandingkan dari negara kita, Indonesia. Jadi kalau kerajinan itu kira-kira 1 miliar dolar, kalau di mebel itu kurang lebihnya ya 3 miliar. Ini 15 miliar sendiri itu dikuasai oleh Vietnam. Dan sisanya itu ada di China. Memang juaranya saat ini sedang China. Bapak Ibu sekalian, bahwa industrial ini akan memberikan dampak-dampak tertentu, terutama yang terkait dengan pemakaian atau eksplorasi bahan, eksplorasi desain yang sesuai dengan kehidupan kita. Nah, saya yakin pembicaraan seminar hari ini akan memberikan pemahaman bersama untuk supaya desain-desain itu menjadi ramah lingkungan, memberikan manfaat bagi manusia. Dari sustainable yang kita bicarakan akan terus kita kembangkan supaya kita ramah lingkungan. Meskipun teknologi terus berganti, teknologi terus berdampak kepada bagaimana penyelesai masalah-masalah yang terjadi atas kemungkinan dari akibat negatif teknologi itu sendiri. Nah, untuk itu seminar ini kami harapkan bisa menelurkan satu pemikiran yang baik, pemahaman yang baik untuk bisa memberikan desain-desain baru yang muncul di kita. Yang pertama bermanfaat secara ekonomi, yang kedua bermanfaat secara natural, secara alamiah, secara ekologi. Terima kasih kedatangannya para pembicara di sini dan juga dari Malaysia. Terima kasih Ibu, dari kemarin sudah kita bersama-sama untuk melihat kampus kita. Kemudian kepada panitia Pak Indro yang luar biasa dan Mbak Sekar kelihatannya dalam mengelola atau membuat acara ini. Saya pikir acara ini kalau bisa nanti dikolaborasikan dengan bentuk-bentuk acara yang lain, misalnya desain komunikasi visual dan desain interior. Mungkin ada sisi yang kita ambil karena sebuah kegiatan yang akan kita lakukan itu tentunya juga bisa dilihat dari aspek yang lain atau perspektif yang lain. Saya pikir itu dan terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Om Swastiastu. Thank you very much.
Ya, terima kasih Pak Timbul atas sambutannya. Kemudian acara berikutnya adalah acara utama, yaitu pembicara akan mulai segera mempresentasikan materinya. Sebelum itu, saya akan memperkenalkan dulu moderator yang akan menemani kita pada pagi hari ini. Bu Winta, silakan. Pada kesempatan hari ini, kita akan ditemani oleh Bu Winta. Beliau adalah dosen dari Universitas Kristen Duta Wacana Yogyakarta. Pada tahun 2020 hingga sampai saat ini, beliau menjabat sebagai Head of Department Center of Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Kemudian pada tahun 2020 hingga 2022, beliau menjabat sebagai Head of Laboratory Inclusive Design Laboratory. Untuk pendidikan beliau, untuk pendidikan S1, beliau berasal dari Institut Teknologi Bandung, lulus tahun Juli 2007, kemudian dilanjutkan di Loughborough University di Inggris nih ya Bu, untuk pendidikan S2-nya. Di sana beliau fokus pada ergonomi. Kemudian pada jenjang doktoral, Bu Winta melanjutkan ke universitas yang sama, yaitu Loughborough University. Pada saat doktoral itu beliau fokus pada inclusive design. Untuk mempersingkat waktu, saya persilakan Bu Winta mengambil alih acara ini.
Thank you very much, Brother Anugrah. From now on, we have to talk in English because we have got Dr. PT as well, so it should be inclusive. Yes, thank you so much. So, as the Dean has been said, that welcome to the first Sawon International Industrial Design Fair, which is like very important. And Dr. PT, he said that no pressure, but he hopes that from this event, all of the speakers can deliver a very insightful lecture or presentation. So all of the audience here, which is like most of maybe the young designers as well, could contribute to think about how Indonesia can compete with Vietnam and also the China to export all of the products from Indonesia. And also, he also mentioned that the industrial design world is very, very complex because it involves humans as the users and also the environment and also the activity itself. So hence the emergence of technology and access of the information and also the shift of the humans' perception, way of thinking and behavior. It's just like contribute to the complexity of the industrial design itself. And we have got a very, very incredible four speakers here, which like will be divided into two sections. And the first one, we will have this is a mix. This is very good seminar because it's mixed between the education sector and the best practice and also the policy influencer. So in the first session, we will have Dr. Piti Guptapatin.
Yes,
I'm so sorry if
PT.
I mispronounce your
That's
name.
okay.
Yeah.
That's very close.
Yeah.
I'm not actually. I'm not a doctor.
Okay. Okay. So Mr. PT, it's okay. And he's also, as you can see here, he's an assistant professor at Silpacom University. And actually, you are the head of department as well, yeah,
Oh,
Mr.
what
PT,
department? Um,
the product design department.
I'm working in the department of product design.
Yes. Okay.
In yeah,
Yeah.
and in the faculty of decorative arts. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. And also, like, he's been to the California, Pasadena, California, Arcadia, California, and also the Bangkok. And he also the founder of the Matter of Mind. So maybe you can tell a bit later about that. And then
Yeah.
from his background as well, he will share the knowledge about the other side of Thailand design, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's another product design in another Thai style.
Yeah, we need that because we also need like a reflection of everyday life as well. Yeah, everyday life product. So he will be our first speaker, and the second speaker will be my senior, my lecturer as well, Dr. Ahmad Sharif. Um, should I introduce now or later? Okay. So he's got, oh, so sorry. Oh, the air conditioner is very, very high here. Thank you so much, sir. I'm a little bit nervous because this is international seminar. um, so Dr. Ahmad Sharif as well, like his background is a product design at the same university as mine and Bandung Institute of Technology. And also he is focusing on he's also the chairman of Indonesia Industrial Design Study Program Forum. So, and his recent interest is in the human object interaction, product semantic, user experience design, and psychophysical evaluation and design object. So both of the speakers will contribute to the knowledge about the design, the very, very foundation, yeah, of how we understand. And Dr. Ahmad Sharif also will deliver about the reflective session, yeah, about the future of industrial design in Indonesia. Okay, so we will start with the first speaker, Mr. PT, and then we will have Dr. Ahmad Sharif, and then we will have the discussion, and you can say it in English. If you want to say Indonesian, it's okay. We will translate it for you. And for the online audience, please don't be shy. Drop your question at the chat box. Okay. So, Mr. PT, we are ready to learn from you.
All right. My honor to have this opportunity to maybe share some ideas with you guys. Assalamualaikum. Okay, so I could share the screen now.
Yes.
Have you seen this my
Yes,
slide
we
yet?
can see
Okay,
it.
good.
It's clear.
Clearly. This looks like a chair, and this is my background. I think today the title for today that we're going to have some kind of brainstorm here is contemporary design identity and optimistic yet realistic and contemporary problem solution. This one is not, the first slide is not really related to the title, but this is my product design that I put some Thai identity into to my object, some aspect that showing the feeling, something that intangible, theory that can reflect the design. So this one using the brass material to making the whole chair. So it's a whole material, like it's the whole chair is made from one material, and to reflect the belief of using of brass material in Thailand. And this one is the stool that come out on the 2000 I think 17, and is the second series from the right view. This one is more complexity and more solid, but it's a stool, so it's kind of the object that can be any corner of your room is more universal. So I try to put the idea of using glass into everyday life. So this is making the way we making the chair is like the factory. We making thing by hand and piece by piece. We bend it and we weld it. Everything made it very very slow in the production process. Like,
Yang Siidef.
I'm sorry. The on the line one is the one that our customer have is at home, and the left one is at the factory. This is my background. So we do the project that I will present next is more related to the title, because it's think about some Thai feature aspect that will be becoming our contemporary design identity. And the second one is not the rocket, but it's some kind of medical product. But my first sketch is like a rocket, so we'll see next. This one has happened when I have a customer that come to me and ask me to design some common product design in our Thai society. Is called inhaler. You know inhaler? Inhaler is something that you put into your nose and sniff it, like that make you feel better, can breathe better. So I'm making some sketch with our customer, and we talk on the paper how we can change these common things, something that stick in our society for a long time, how we can change the way we look at it. So we start with the rocket. I'm starting sketch some rocket, because his company is called Rocket, and so we start with this. It's easy. I'm looking around and looking for something that had a shape that look like rocket. This one is a torch that from the camping company, and this one is the inhaler that I found in the market that have a shape that very interesting. Mostly in the market we found the package that look just like cylinder, just simple cylinder. So the organic form, something like this, we cannot found it yet. So this one is look very interesting. It's called a super lemon. Is this how we can is this show the piece that can assemble it into the complete product? Is about 4 to 5 pieces. And then I'm backing to the sketch and try to making something different. So I start with the mock-up with the paper and using the currently product in the market. And the final of the sketch, I found something interesting that I can shape the old one into the shape of the rocket. Harmony. This one making in easy computerizing SketchUp. And have rapid prototyping. And backing to the computer again. To giving its color, finding some variation. And this one is the second development of this, the first one that put some logo on it. So this you will see the graphic on product is be starting right now. What you guys see in the back is the currently inhaler in the market. So I put this in the picture and making more interesting by taking picture to compare. And at that time, I have a chance to have an exhibition show in South Korea at Kukmin University. So I was thinking about put something easy in the suitcase and go abroad and get it out and exhibit in very short time. So I start with something that come into the concept of the maybe the space, the rocket that flying in our space and then stuck into the maybe the planet that have a surface look like a face of a human. And then I'm going start to the third one because the first one is not, it's too small and can contain less liquidity. So the third one we will start with something that more bigger, and the piece is easy to production. So what you will see now is I put some roller, like a roller, a roll on onto the rocket. So you can have 2-in-1 function. And this is how it works. So now we have something very satisfying. So we get some CAD data by using some SolidWorks. I'm not sure you guys using this kind of software, but in Thailand we use SolidWorks and Pro Engineer, something like that, to create the CAD data that have a very precision dimension, and you can calculate the maybe the use of material, how many plastic do you use in your package, so you will know the cost, and you will know how to make it practically. It can be modelized what you think in your mind to the picture, that mechanical things, something that very complicated, how this piece can connect together. And can it can translate into the very precision data to making a three-dimensional program, 3D printing. So this one is kind of longer for me, and then it's not finished yet. So we start the CAD, and finally we have the one that have a right proportion for me, and our customer is very, very satisfied and happy. So the logo is coming out by, I'm using the one of our social media application, Instagram, to having some word that which one do you think is good, you like it, something like that. And I put that into the picture again. This one how we use the roll on, so we just put it out and invert it back, so we have another function. This is how we doing the experiment about how we open it. Currently, the inhaler package in the market is mostly using one hand to open it. Oh, this one some kind of psychological thing, and that people like to open and close thing in one hand. So the package I using the use paper to making the study model, how we can create the same concept, the concept that come together with the theme, the whole theme. Yes, that but our customer didn't choose anyone yet, anything like this yet. So they come with the idea of the simple square box. So this one is a graphic design that I put on the product that I create myself. That maybe that tell the story about some part of our Thailand in or Bangkok. And it's the final one. Yeah, now is now it's in the production line now, and I'm doing the second project right now with them, and we'll show you maybe next time. So in the meantime, I have exhibition show in the Siidef. We have yearly exhibit showing on the Siidef on the 15th of September. So I'm create the design of the inhaler that come in the shape of rings that have the look like a common idea like a rocket inhaler, but it's in the shape of rings. And this one is the piece of work that showing at the exhibition. Something look like this. Okay. So for the next project, I'm concerning with the way people in our society using plastic in many times, in many things. So for example, we use this plastic to satisfy our passion on our own or individual property. Like we put the cute plastic sticker to protect our cars from scratch. And the very high names niche market Balenciaga got the shoe that the slipper that very expensive that design from the shape of the pet bottles. Even in at my home, I'm using the plastic chair. My mom used the chair for doing the gardening thing, something like that. And this plastic is just very, very cheap. It's very cheap and it's very useful. But the plastic have very sometimes very short life expectancy. When you buy it at first, it will come with a very colorful and shiny color, something like this. And when you've been used for a while, like maybe 2 or 3 months, it's becoming like something that got the ultraviolet. Looks like okay. It's like my computer is so after I got the broken and useless plastic chair right now, so I'm trying to composition it again by making them a second life. This is when I'm doing this project. It's about like a year ago that we have to stay at home from the COVID-19. So whatever I have at home can use as a tools and material to create a piece of work. So this is maybe my mind that why I choose that plastic chair. And this one, I put some more backrest on it to make it more useful and sit comfortably. And this is a picture from the exhibition show at the Silvakan University. I put some more of a plastic bag in between them to make it work as cushions. And that will be the last one. Okay. That's it, my presentation.
From outside clapping as well. Thank you so much, Mr. PT. It's very, very interesting. Like we can I can feel like we are in Thailand at this moment in time, like because you show us the glimpse of the Thais everyday life, and also the responding the social and the phenomenon, like everyday phenomenon, towards the sustainability itself, and then you have like this playful design process as well. How you, I really like. I'm a little bit chuckle when you exhibit the rocket to the nose like that as the planet face
Oh, okay.
planet. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's so
Thank you.
yeah, it's so fun. And yes, so if Mr. PT like gives us the glimpse of the design process from the design practice, we will have got a deeper understanding about the industrial design as well from Dr. Ahmad Sharif. And afterwards, we will have the Q&A session so we can just like merge two topics together later. Please welcome Dr. Ahmad Sharif.
Bisa dikecilin. Strong wind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can reduce the fan, probably the fan mode. Yeah. You have plenty of time, 30 minutes. So take your time.
Should I speak in English or Indonesian? Okay. But I think because there's Mr. PT from Thailand, so I will try to speak in English also. Okay.
Thank you.
Can I start?
Yes, please.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you for attending my presentations. Can you share my...
Share the
my presentation? Oh, okay. Cool. Until we see my presentation is about design educations. Actually, it's not about the conditions, but how we can propose industrial design education in Indonesia or product design in Indonesia. Because right now, as mentioned before, I'm a chairman of Indonesia Industrial Design Study Program Forum. So my speak is about design education, the subject that close and being the concern of me. So the presentations, the title is the product design now, acknowledging the scientific craftsmanship in contemporary design educations. That's the title. My presentation will look upon the changing social life due to the technological advancement and how we as design educators, some of us, and how our students will look upon to how to accommodate such changes. I try to look these issues because in the past 2 years when we are in the pandemics, Everything is put online, education online, everything online, e-commerce, e-citizenship, everything online. We see changes, but people adapt. Education also adapt. That's why I look through these issues and try to propose something that what I think should be addressed for now, product design education now and beyond. Please next. Okay. So I try to look our life now. Our life now, as John Badinga says, is in the what he said, a hybridity phase, a very intimate relationship between digital technology and being a human being. And this is very understandable. What he said in the 2021, Mr. Bantinga says about the hybrid phase in our life is very understandable because there's the symptoms. So I will try to look for the symptoms, what he says about the hybridity phase. Okay. Next. Okay, the first one, I think we should look at this. We tend to start our life with power up rather than warm up. So the first thing in the morning, we try to look is, that's the first thing that you look in the morning, whether your smartphone is fully charged or not. So we are concerned more about low bat than low health. Okay. The second one is our experiences, our memories are measured in terabytes. So our years of experiences, our years in memories, our years in portfolio put in terabytes in database. Okay. The third one is we attend, some of you perhaps attend live performance, live event, but use your smartphone to record and watch them again on a small screen. So it's very interesting. You saw the attend live performance, but you saw them in a small screen. Okay. The fourth one is we like to have a slow life. We like to have a fun life. But if you have slow connection, you must be mad. Okay. Okay, next. The fifth one is we like to travel. We like to adventures as long as there is hotspot. If you are missing your hotspot, you hate your travel. You hate your adventures. Okay. The sixth, we value our privacies, but we share our life in the social media. That's the condition right now. You hate your privacy. You like to keep your privacy, but you share your life in the social media, Instagram. Hey, I'm having birthday. Hey, I'm going to this cafe. Oh, hey, I'm going to this with my friends. That's the condition we are entering. Okay, next. We like to have any solutions for any problems, but using Google search, your search engine, or apps. Everything looking for search engine. Even our kids, perhaps, looking for, instead of just asking you as a parent or perhaps you as a brother or sisters, they try to look for using the Google search, just trying to find the answers. Okay, the last one is we do not trust authorities or less trust the authorities, but we believe and abide with the neural networks or artificial intelligence. You like to have suggestions from the artificial intelligence. Hey, this is 5 stars. Hey, this is good. Oh, this is bad. Only 1 star. you are tend to abide to those suggestions. So in with this case, we are entering the hybrid phase, what Badrinya said. We are becoming very close with digital technology. So all the symptoms, next. Okay. All the symptoms suggest that we, especially in Indonesia, we are becoming digital societies. And there are three characteristics. The first one is digital citizenship. We are entering that because our ideas, yeah, KTP, NPWP, or tax numbers, or perhaps birth certificate, digital only right now. There is no need to copies because they are QR code. Everything for birth code until the family registration. So we are entering digital citizenship. The second one, digital commerce. We are very fond with the using of Traveloka, using Tokopedia, Marketplace, Shopee. That's everyday life. So we are becoming digital society. The third one, digital lifestyle. We are using our social medias. We are using our video conferencing, Zoom. For example, for the past 2 years, they are changing media platform for those who conducting Indonesia, we call arisan. Ibu-ibu, mothers who like to like together. They are using Zoom right now. Arisan in Zoom, not in physicals, not in person right now. So we are becoming digital societies. We are embrace digital lifestyle. So what's this related to design? And we are design educators, most of us design educators and design students. Next. Okay, I try to look at trends, whether we are entering the digital societies. This is the data from Google Trends. For the past 5 years, there are increased search trends in digital design profession in Indonesia. UI, UX, digital products, they are increased for the past 5 years. In addition, there are also increased search trend for digital productions in Indonesia. This is the data for Google Trends in Indonesia. It's interesting. The manual production search trend is decreased, but the digital production trend is increased. Okay, next. So all of this shows that we are in Indonesia, and I think in several countries also, all this shows that humans interact more with the product. That not only appear as physical effects, but also related to complex services, interconnected systems, and personal experience. And these all are enabled by digital technology. So as a result, there are increased complexity of design. So designing right now is not just, there is a problem, we provide you with some solution. It's not that easy anymore. We need to provide more than just the solutions, because this solution will relate to the other complex services. And perhaps this product will also have other interconnected with other products. And most importantly, there are more increased need for the personal experiences of the users or the consumers. And the other result is because using digital technology, there is this, the opportunity because the decreased limitation of mass manufacturers. Like Mr. PT has shown, we can use 3D printing, we can use custom production. We no need to provide a design that are more likely to be produced massively, more than 10,000 pieces. No, we can use it now, right now to just produce about maximum 100 pieces or perhaps 10 pieces. So this also relate to how we approach design education. Next. So it shows that if we take all what I'm explaining before, it shows that the scope of the product design has evolved. Digital realms of products has bring us to delve more into the knowledge of designing and making, as well as consuming and using. So as designers, right now, we take into considerations the use of digital app for sketching, for drawing, using 3D printing, using 3D digital scanning, and perhaps also understanding what the use of augmented realities, using of virtual realities. They are more common right now. And the other hand, we also need to understand more about how the people consume and using this product, because product may be connected. The user experience more. They need more than just the product, than just a beautiful object. They need more from the product. And the other thing, physical and digital interaction is combined. We are not just using the physical interaction only, but perhaps we are more see the product that combining physical and digital interaction. So where these digital realms lead us to? Next. Okay, so product design now and beyond must have, at first, the knowledge and digital tools for 3D model. That's easy. We are already in this phase. The second one, knowledge of digital fabrication technologies. That's easy also because we are entering this. The ability to self-manufacture and understanding maker cultures. Some of you already done it. Some of us not yet entering this. The fourth one is the ability to empathize on users' problem in the making of the product. Related to sustainability, related to aesthetics, related to social dynamics of our users or our consumers. So product design now is considered both scientists and craftsmen. Designers is not just only as an artist. Now the product designer is also scientist. Because we are facing this needed of the competencies. Okay, next. So product design activities equals scientific craftsmanship. That's the terms that mentioned by industrial designers from Turkey, Ramoglu and Koskan in 2017. Said that product design activities equal with scientific craftsmanship. So what our design education do now? Okay, let's see. Next. Yeah. There are characteristics of activities and product design now and beyond. The first one is scientific activities. So product designers now need to have research-based knowledge. How doing rational problem solving using or based on methodologies rather than traditions. So we are not just rely on tradition, but more on how using or apply the methods of producing something or designing something. The second one, emphasizing research, especially on user research, how to understand our consumers or users. The third one, using digital tools. I think some are already done in Indonesia. The second one is craft activities. It's already done also, merging, designing, and producing process. Designing, but also understanding how to make it as a single product that can be manufactured. The second one is focusing on creative problem solving. This one is also the key of our product design education. The third one is having extensive knowledge on aesthetic and functional aspect of object. We already done that. But is it enough? Okay, let's see. Next. Okay. This is some of the examples. How this realms is in front of us. We are experiencing this. We are using that. We are creating parts with 3D printers. We are creating the whole body using 3D printers. We are creating modules using 3D printers. So 3D printers is already everywhere. But is it enough just using 3D printers? Because if we are just focusing on this, then perhaps everything should be using this machine. That's the key of scientific craftsmanship. We are not using just the scientific side, but also the craftsmanship, how we combine this. Okay, next. We are creating parts using CNC laser cutters. Yeah. Some of we are creating the full scales for the designers from UK, using the whole product using just 3D printers. So we are designing in Indonesia and then producing in UK, no problem. They are designing in UK and producing in somewhere else, just using 3D printers. But is it enough? Is that product design just using just 3D printings, or just knowing about 3D printings? How we combine this with our knowledge about the natural materials? How we understand combining this with bamboos? How combining this with woods? How combining with this with rattan? That's it. That's the key for the product design now in education and also in profession. Next, we are entering this. Unfortunately, this is this PDF file, yeah. So I cannot show the videos, right? Okay, next. Can it? Okay, next. Unfortunately, we cannot see the videos. Okay, so how does design education respond? Design education should adapt. What should be adapt? The program should adapt to this change. The second one, design education should change. What should change? The practice. The one that focusing only on traditions should change into the method. The one that focusing only on digital should also consider the natural material. The one who only consider the natural material also consider the digital production. Okay, the third one is design education should be prepared. Who should be prepared? The design educators, the people, the teachers, the lecturers, the students should be prepared for this condition, for these issues. Next. I try to look for just only for the program who should adapt. What kind of program should be adapt? What kind of courses should be offered? And what kind of courses that we can discuss to be included in our design education. Next. Okay, there's the common course. So in Indonesia, they are the common course in the left side. We are providing design methods, human factors, material studies, production processes, social environmental issues is already there. But we need also the new courses, applied geometry. We need also the method of user research. Which are not given right now in the design education. We also need to understand the anthropology, understanding about users, about UX and behavioral studies, also about the visual programming using VR or augmented reality. The common courses related to practice-based digital modeling and prototyping, creative exploration, design, business, product aesthetic is already done in our design education. But we also need to delve more on the form studies. We need to understand more about design morphology and perhaps delve into biomimicry. Perhaps we need to discuss more about that. Next, this is some examples. Unfortunately, there are also videos, but the file is in PDF. Actually, I sent the PPT. But okay, if the PPT cannot be presented using just the PDF. Can you present that? Oh, okay. Okay. This is why called applied geometry. We do not, I'm not suggesting that we need to learn math about this. No, just applied geometry. How to understand the shape and how it's related to the morphology of the product. Okay, next. We learn also the procedures and techniques in generating insights about users, whether it's the direct or indirect, whether it's attitudinal or behavioral, understanding what people say and what people do, because everything what people say not related to what people do. They said yes, but actually no, not that easy. Yeah, because there are certain research about this when the one of the research institution in Indonesia doing some studies about how consumers respond and ask about do you like certain products in this some marketplace? Oh yes. Do you like to buy it? About 70% said yes, 70 until 80%. But then they check again later, 1 month or 2 months later, only 10% who done to proceed to buy the products. So they say yes, 70 to 80%, but who done to proceed to buy is only 10%. So what they say is not similar to what they do. Okay, next. We don't also learn to use the ethnographic thinking from anthropological studies. Develop new products, develop services, understanding practices and forms of sociality. This is some of the examples we've done. We call it the Lab of Design Anthropology in our institutions. We come to several places, the communities, and develop together the products. So not only the design come from the designers, but the design come from the community. There are some, and then also we combine this with the digital production using 3D printings. Okay, next. Also form studies. I think some of us has already done this, but we need also more delve more into the expressions of form and structures, because we using digital fabrication, using digital technology, is not. It's easy now to produce the organic form. We used to have only just geometric form, but now we can use also the organic form. So we need to understand more about the aesthetical consequences of the functions, how we use certain product, how we understand the operations of certain objects. Okay, next. We need also try to look more the inspiration for design from the natures. Disrupt from traditional thinking. We in our institution also developing the lab for biomimicry. we are having a cooperation with some, not some, this is faculty, School of Life Science and Technology. So we are together and developing the biomimicry. This is just the examples. It's not done by us, but several is already done. You can try to look the several of the examples in our website. Get next. I think this is the okay. The augmented and virtual reality. Unfortunately, this video is also cannot be played. So using the augmented reality, this coding, we can present our ideas more easy to customers or more easy to others. Instead of just pictures, image, we use augmented reality to put it in the context. How to use it, for example, this one. How to place it next to other products. Before, we just using the sketches or using 3D modelings. You look for the screen or look for the display. But using the augmented reality, we can have imagination how to look for the actual product when they are compared to others. Okay. Yeah, it's not simulation, but perhaps we are more easy to find the connection between the design and the real world. Okay, next. Okay, this is my closings. So product design is expanding. Of course, we already understand it. So due to evolution of its scope of activities, design may be defined as scientific craftsmanship. So placing design activities as scientific craftsmanship create implication on design educations. Scientific craftsmanship emphasize both scientific and craftsmanship activities through the way we produce design knowledge, research-based, and how we enhance the design process, the practice-based. So my presentation today is late reasoning the necessity of design education to adapt, to change, and to be prepared. Some examples are already presented for the program, and perhaps you can discuss more about that. So how they are explored and implemented may be subject to discussion more. That's what I'm trying to present today. Perhaps we can discuss more about these issues. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Yes. Well, how about you? I've got so many keywords here on my notes. Basically, like both of speakers provoke us to think beyond here. So it's about the celebration of our potential as humans that we have mind, so we can think. Maybe I don't know, traditionally, or we used to like in design, industrial design, because we have to think so many aspects like the materials, the aesthetic, the humans performance as well. So everything, the process is like very quick, and then we tend to forgot. Maybe it's kind of like designer oriented, like we don't see again about the user needs, etc. So it's just like a very quick sketch and etc. And then forgot to learn more about what is outside of our mind and our prior knowledge. And also it's about the yeah, I've got the user experience as well, interconnected, and the user oriented, and then both speakers try to invite us to use the holistic approach to see things, to understand what is the problem, what is the context. I think like it's very mandatory for us to see the context here. Tapak, yeah, Dr. Pak Syarif, yeah, and Mr. Pitsi as well. So, is there any question or any reflection that come to your mind, cross to your mind? Oh, we have got plenty of questions from our online audience. Okay, it's shall we start the first one? Hasna Mukmina want to ask, like, sorry, I want to ask, now the contemporary design that Hitsing is the contemporary design that's combined with classic design. Then how steps for growth the brain for the steps combined contemporary design with classic design? Thanks before. Maybe Pak Ahmad Sharif or Mr. PT can add up as well to answer this.
Lining.
Yes. So the contemporary design that Hitsing is the contemporary design that combined with classic design.
Okay.
How's the growth, the brain for the steps?
First, we need to clarify what is classic
Yeah.
design. Classic related to what the object itself, or the years, or what is classics?
Oh, maybe we can Hansna Mukmina, can you open mic and then elaborate like your
Yes.
question in this? Yeah. Hello, how are you?
Oh, fine.
Okay, can you tell us more about what actually your question addressed to?
No. The classic design have.
Oh, or you can tell us in Indonesian as well if you are
Oh, iya.
comfortable with that.
Ya, sekarang sekarang apa desain klasik desain masa kini atau kontemporer sudah bergabung dengan desain masa kini. Jadi kalau misalkan desain masa kini itu ada tapi sudah tidak menjadi incaran saya, karena saya juga kalau beli desain yang bergabung klasik dengan kontemporer. Jadi ada unsur klasiknya, ada kontemporernya. Walaupun harganya tuh kacak sedikit tapi tidak begitu banyak harganya. Ya.
Maybe you can tell us the example. What did you buy? Is ada apa?
Misal furnitur Jepara yang sudah ada busa-busa di bagian atas kepala.
Okay.
Yang ukir-ukiran itu kan klasik, tetapi sekarang gayanya masa kini.
Okay, baik. So what she meant, classic design is related to tradition, right? Because she said about the Jepara, the carve, related how to produce certain object using traditional approach. Because when we look classic design is also related like fur beetles is also classic design. And then the furniture for Panton is classic design. So that's what I'm thinking, but she said it's different because looking for classic design as related to tradition. Okay, when we combine this, that's a good thing. However, how we combine, that's the issue. How we combine, because we're not just combining things and then everything's okay. We need to combine by understanding what this tradition is meant for. I give you an illustration. I think several years ago, I think some of my students already know the stories. About 10 years ago, I think, there are some motifs or carved motifs used by certain tribes in Sulawesi. These motifs belong to the dead. They are designers from Australia as a tourist and look for this motif and, oh, this is beautiful, this is traditional motif. And he come back to Australia and then they produce it as a clothes. Then he tried to say to his friends in Indonesia, he comes to Indonesia again, and then come to these tribes. I'm using your motive. What their reaction? They are afraid. This is dead man walking. Because that motive is belong to the dead. So if we look to combine with tradition, we need to understand the meaning of this tradition. First, that's the key. Not just combining, but we need also to understand the values and the meaning of this tradition. Then, if we understand more about this, then we can make it into the new one. Actually, have the product myself. I designed myself, but I forgot to bring the image, combining the glass with the 3D printings. The glass itself is made by hand, but the 3D printings is a 3D printing. So combining this what I said, it's scientific craftsmanship. I think I don't answer your questions quite yet, but I hope you understand that combining is okay as long as we understand about the meaning and the values of those tradition that we are trying to combine, not just for the sake of just combining. That's not that easy, right? Because I think there are certain values, certain meanings that belong to the certain tribe that dear to that tradition, dear to that cultural tribes that they said this is different. Okay. For example, in Jogja, do you dare to use the motif belong to Sultan for your bags?
No lah.
Oh,
You will have like
there's a
social
no-no. Oh, there's a no-no. Yeah,
punishment.
there are certain social punishment. So that's what I call it. Combining is not that easy if we are trying to understand. Okay, what this tradition is meant for, or what the values.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. PT, I saw your gesture. You want to add
Yeah.
some?
Yeah, I have some little idea about the question that I think when we're talking about classic design, we're talking about something that have a layer, something that have a class for me. And for we're talking about contemporary design, we're talking something that really is the layer is blur. People in the society, the common people can accept that, can have that, something that the most of people in our society can can feel it,
Yes.
can feel it, can but to combine classic to contemporary, I think it, for me, it's about a time. The contemporary design is about something that has the essence of timeless. The timeless is the essence of the contemporary design for me. Something that it can go longer and longer and longer.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about the human and social environment as well, and then everything is so linked and so complex. So we have to be careful and take a step back and then to see the whole lot. I remember when I was in the bachelor, I was introduced to the and view, the angle and angle of view, and then the bird and the view. So like zoom, you have to see the zoom out and then see the link, yeah, the link, the connection before you dig into the zoom like the ant. You see everything in detail. So we as a designer should have that attitude as well. Yeah. Okay. Shall we go to the second one because there's so many? Okay. Okay. This is a particularly for Sharif. By mention about the design as a scientific craftsmanship, that means that we have to make like the research procedure particularly so we knows how to to write it down, kind of like that, or we can just follow the procedure or the traditional science procedure, assisted one, and then or just the contents about the design. So yeah, just like use the science method and then to bring the design context, or we have to bring new procedures out.
Okay. We can borrow the procedures, but most importantly is that the scientific means that you need to explain it logically, not just saying that I made it because I like it. You said I made it because I understand how to make it, who make it, and then how it will be used by the user. That's what I'm saying about the scientific side. Try to understand more the logical way of producing design, not just by tradition of just producing something. Because that's the key of putting design activities as a scientific craftsmanship. Okay, I think that's the answers of that.
Yeah, it's a simple answer, but it's a very, very deep. You have to practice first, yeah, before you understand what is the how to implement
The one
it
that
well.
the question before, combining with tradition.
Mm.
By understanding the values, by understanding the meanings of the traditions, you're doing actually you are doing a social science
Yes, research.
research actually. That's what I mean. I try to understand the content, try to understand the elements before you producing something.
Yeah.
Not just because we are designer is not artists, right?
You have to be
You have to differentiate a little bit with next neighbors. I'm sorry, I have to say it. Your neighbors in here, the visual artists, because they are producing based on their personal personal agenda. They don't need customers. Customers need them. But in industrial design or product design, we need to understand our customers. We need to understand our users, how they are using the product, how they consume the product. That's why I'm saying that by understanding it, you are becoming a scientist, understanding the user, understanding how to produce something.
Yeah.
That's what I call scientific sides of our design.
To make sure it's objective as well, yeah?
That's right.
Mr. Peter, do you want to add up from the design practice point of view?
Design practice.
I mean, like, how about this scientific craftsmanship?
Scientific
Do you have
craftsmanship.
any comment or?
Yeah, mostly the industrial design strategies combined with a lot of theories, a lot of strategy. It's combine a lot of factors to making the design. So it can be any interaction, can be any integrated from one thing plus one thing plus one thing. Like we can hear, like we heard about 1 + 1 = 1, something like wabi sabi, something like that. And so I'm agree.
Yeah, because we can see from your design as well. The idea, the fresh ideas comes from the rocket, yeah, because of the brand. But you have got the research of the user behaviors, like particularly in Thailand, that with one hand, etc. So yeah, so that's the one of the implementation of this scientific craftsmanship as well. Okay, so we have got a question as well from one lecturer from the Pelita Harapan University Jakarta, Ibu Devani. Hi. I would like to ask to Mr. Ahmad Sharif again. Thank you for your insightful presentation. My question is about design research. Now, this is the implementation in Bachelor of Design degree level. What kind of design research should we teach? Research through design, gain new knowledge from design process, or research for design, give research recommendation for design process, particularly for this present of time, like with all of the characteristic of the student as well.
Okay. I know that funny.
Yeah, funny, yeah. Talk a lot with her as well.
Okay. What I meant is when I'm explaining about the scientific craftsmanship, how we try to put research in our design knowledge is putting effort to understand more about what we are designing. We are designing for human, understand the human. We are designing using materials, understand the materials, not just using it. That's what I call is a scientific sides of the product design. So if we are trying to make our student understand more about this, is that we are know the methods how to do something. For example, doing studies about the materials, what we do, understanding the materials, what kind of materials, what do you need to exploiting the materials. You try to bend it, understanding how to bend it. Ask the engineers or ask the scientists. You are not a scientist, you are not an engineer, but try to understand more about that. The applications of how to exploit the materials,
The limitation kind
the
of.
limitation. You not doing the experiments. You are not scientists, you are not engineers, but try to ask them how to bend it, how to. That's what we call that product design in the future. It's not product design for individuals. Product design in the future is product design for collaborators. We need to make a product with collaboration with others. You make these chairs in the industries. You need also to collaborate with engineers, the materials. We need also to collaborate with the production managers. That's the product design. The nature of product design is collaboration. So by understanding this issue, try to deliver the methods, how to understand the making of the product. And there are many. You can search in Google's. You can search in the several books about the methods. I hope there are some a little bit explanation that clarified your question. Devani, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's all about the approach as well. Yeah, it's like, so the scientific craftsmanship is like how we breathe. Yeah, it should be like a fundamental
Yeah.
approach.
Before we try to solve the problem, but okay, what is problem? Okay, I sketch this. Not that kind of event anymore. Try to understand the problem. Okay, what kind of a problem is? This is related to users. This is related to how to use something. For example, how to open the cap. Okay, what kind of cap?
Yeah.
What this cap is made for, and what cap this is the materials for this cap.
Yeah.
That's the new approach of designing. Not just okay, like an artist just sketching and then this is our design. And when you ask how this design is come from, I don't know. It's come from God. That's not designer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So designer should be logic, understanding. Okay, what kind this cap made for? This is from plastic. The design is using this grid because it's easy to open it, and when you close it, it's easy to close it. And this color is related to also the visual identities of the product. So that's the explanation. That's designers. And what you explain is just like scientists. Just like scientists, you are not scientists. Just like scientists explaining about something, the logical way of explaining about the object.
Yeah. I used to I often say to my students, we have to have these children hat and then detective hat. So we don't too shy or to be afraid to ask everything, like to be amazed to something and then you ask, and then but you have to link its sections, and then you can have the context and the understanding what's going on, what to do. Okay, so there's also a question. Yeah, next question is like, oh, this is a very, very common question. How do you know when you got the design right, like that you have met the right design?
You know the design, right? If the user said that they are satisfied of using, they are agreed to using, not you,
Yeah.
the users or the consumers. They like to use it. They like to for example, to open this cap, for example.
Yeah.
That's when you know that your design is you consider it's good. Okay. But I'm not also saying that they are not they are also designers. So who are thinking more like an artist, right? An iconic designers, Philip Stark, for example. You know the designs of the rockets and then the Bertha hot. It's very good, right? The aesthetic side, although in human factor that is very wrong because we use it the steam will come out from the handles and then will reach your hands.
It's not to save them.
It's not safe, but aesthetically it's very good. Aesthetically, oh, this is iconic. This is belong to the museums.
Yeah.
But mostly for us, we are not there yet. That's different.
Yeah.
We are designed for the common people who are like to use it safely. We try to use it easily. That's what we are aiming for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, this is particularly for Mr. PT.
Okay.
You have shared design process of rocket inhaler. It's very interesting. Were the customer involved in the design process in some way, or maybe the producent is already, or the product is already out and get some comments from the customer? So kind of like evaluation. I'm curious about the customer reaction to the rocket inhaler. So how's the
Okay.
story, Mr. PT?
Yeah. It's the hardest the part to in this design process is in the first part to selling the idea to making the inhaler in a shape of rocket, um, because the design doesn't come from the need and want and whatever criteria something that, but the ideas of the outline to use the outline of the rocket is to borrow the beauty of something else, that not the inhaler itself. So we borrow the rocket shape to making a new product. So it's very hard. I think this one is very hard because the rocket is the common shape, the common one that people already have it in their mind. But the hardest part is to tell our customer that why they listen to use this outline. So after that, it's very easy because to making inhaler is, for me, is the first time. I didn't know how the anatomy of this thing come from. So it's the new thing for me. So me and the customer, we come together. So the hardest part is the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. I lost connection of the chat. So can we show? I think there's like one comment. Still, we have got some comments on the chat books, the chat box. Oh, okay. I cannot see it. Let me. Okay. Oh, you Mr. PT also put it there. Okay, so there's like from from the Duta Wacana fellows here. I think yeah. So he's totally agree that design is scientific. That's my design not called design knowledge, and it's more methods in various step of design process. And I think um before he also mentioned about this is why that we have to design a good curricula, yeah, and use different paradigm to compose in the future. So that's a very, very tough job of the lecturers in Indonesia as well, that you have to adapt and then to think thoroughly what your students need to learn. So we cannot just like traditionally pass like 10 years without any modification, yeah, for the curricula as well. Okay, is there any question we've done with the online participants? Is there any question from here? Can I hear the crowd? How are you? Okay, so we have got the fellows from Malaysia as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Maybe we can have like one more question from the friends here. Is there any young designers? Where you come from? Oh, maybe where do you come from? What department are you in? Oh, product design. The young become. Are you young product design or becoming upcoming product design? Yeah. You have any question? Can you understand everything? You can say it in Indonesia. Udah paham belum dengan semua pembicaraan ini? Agak berat ya.
A little bit understand.
A little bit understand. So, ada komentar nggak bagaimana
Yeah,
tentang topik
it's
hari
very
ini?
interesting and have new knowledge to me.
So, how do you tanggapan namanya siapa?
Okay, my name is Denny Muhammad Priambodo.
Denny.
Ya, Denny Muhammad.
Denny. Kak Denny. Ini kan tadi diajak untuk berpikir menyeluruh gitu ya, holistik, gak hanya kamu pengen apa, ngedesain apa begitu, tapi kamu harus melihat semuanya dengan detail dan harus mau riset gitu. Nah, tadi juga Mr. PT juga bilang itu hal yang paling sulit dan paling karena harus riset dan mempelajari segala sesuatu keluar dari zona nyaman. Apakah kamu siap?
Ya, siap. Menarik ya dari.
Bagaimana? Menariknya apa? Menariknya apa dari ini?
Dari tadi Pak Syarif membilang untuk digital apa? Environment, terus biomimikri dan lain-lain. Jadi desainer sekarang tidak hanya untuk menggabungkan estetik dan fungsionalitas saja, tapi juga nilai dan pengetahuan lainnya. Oke, terima kasih.
Jadi technology is there and the humans is like the tools to think about it, to reconnect everything together, to integrate things together. Yeah. Okay, I've got clues from the committees. One more comment. Is it okay? Oh, sorry. Okay, one more question. My name is Della. I want to ask a question from the process of design. Yeah, design. So, what interesting experience do you get when doing interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary research? Ooh, what is interdisciplinary and what is multidisciplinary? Maybe want to have a comment from Dr. Ahmad Sharif and also Mr. PT, yeah? Okay, please.
That's
What
a
I
very
understand interdisciplinary is there are two disciplines, so they work together. But multidisciplines, it means one discipline but consists of several areas inside. That's what I'm understanding. So when you say that, what interesting experience do you get when doing interdisciplines? Okay, I have experience of doing, providing courses, packaging design for students, but we are in collaborations with the School of Pharmacies and Faculty of Industrial Engineering. In School of Pharmacies, because we are doing packaging for cosmetic support by Paragon, Wardah Cosmetics. So they try to explain about the making of this solution. They say, what is it? It's a solutions. It's a solution, right? Yeah, For face, what's that?
Aging.
No, not aging. This is for cleanser, face cleanser. The student from product design, they do not understand at first what kind of this solution or this liquids. So the lecturers from the School of Pharmacy explains about this type of liquids should be contained in what kind of the containers, the limitations of the products, it's how long. So, and then we are combining our understandings to design something. And we asked also from the Faculty of Industrial Engineering about how to make it constant, because this liquid, it cannot be contained more than 1 year because they're changing the colors. How to make it the colors constant? That's from the engineering physics for the Faculty of Industrial Engineering. So we combine this understanding, and when we develop the packaging design for the cosmetic companies, we try to ask the student to come up with ideas, and when they are understanding about the, oh, this is the solution, oh, this is the colors, they come up with the ideas that very logical but very creative. That's what I'm experienced about doing interdisciplinary research. I'm not I don't do multidisciplinary research. If I understand that multidisciplinary is one discipline with several discipline inside. So I'm with my experience with doing interdisciplinary research with collaboration with School of Pharmacy and the Faculty of Industrial Engineering, we come up with ideas that, I think the student understand more about how to make it. The School of Pharmacy student understand how to make to design the packaging. The student for Faculty of Industrial Engineering also understand how to market the product. They work together as a group. That's, I think, come up with ideas that are very acceptable by the industries, but in the creative way, like the product design should do the design process.
So it's like a knowledge sharing and also like I think enhance the creative thinking as well. Yeah. How about Mr. PT? Because on your project is you are doing the the multidiscipline as well with the.
Yeah, I like the word. I like the word multidiscipline. Well, is for me is when you can design one thing, you can design everything, I think. So for the multi-discipline is mean you divide it into something specific, and you say that you can do it everything. So for me, it's not different. It's not different because it's you can design a house, so you can design a chair because you know what's an appropriate about that design. Yeah.
So don't put like a limitation or border, to have these creative problem solving itself.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. We perhaps for both of speakers and the audience and all of the who ask. It's very great discussions. And after this, we will have break, about like 15 minutes break or 5-minute breaks. 5-minute breaks before we have got the second session because we are a bit late to start with. Okay. There will be like some refreshment outside. Please enjoy. And we'll see you again. Thank you so much, Mr. PT. And all of the audience, we will see you in 5 minutes. Thank you.
yang masih di luar, masih makan, masih minum, segera masuk kembali ya, karena acara akan segera kita mulai lagi. Oke, dipersilakan masuk kembali.
Itu kena.
Oke, silakan masuk teman-teman yang tadi di dalam, silakan masuk, atau mungkin yang tadi ingin masuk bisa masuk karena tempatnya masih banyak yang kosong ya.
Saya tunggu Abah tuh. Baik, baik. Halo, selamat siang semuanya. Selamat datang kembali. Semoga sudah fresh ya, karena judulnya refreshment. Okay, I would like to say hello to the online audience. Give any reaction, please. Okay, so we will be entering to the second session. Which is like who are like from the practitioner side, and also from the academician, but also the policy influencer, probably. Yeah? And as the third speaker, we have Mr. Ben Wirawan from the Torch ID. Actually, he's my former boss when I was in the student in the Bandung, and then he was
Hello,
my
Bu
boss.
Winta. How are you?
Hello. I called him Omben. So he's graduated from the product design and Institute of Technology Bandung as well, and also doing his education at the National University of Singapore as well. From this, this program on small and medium enterprise management, international marketing, and Asia Pacific business. So there's so many awards that he achieved. That's also the recent one, 2020, the Golden Bauhinia Cup China Asian Industrial Design Award for the Torch Guard, excellent award. And also the same year, Anugerah Bangga Buatan Indonesia, Torchguard top 3 manufacturing category. 2019 Indonesia Good Design Selection Award. Wow, it's for the same year, but it's for 3 sectors like Torch Bali Evo Traveling Good Design 2019. Also for the Arafah Sandal Umroh dan Haji. Yeah, this is a very what is that, like a big news in that time as well, this Sandal Umroh. And also for the Startup Retail Inspiratif Jawa Barat. And 2008, he's also have got the Indonesian Good Design Award for Mahanagari Eco Packaging. That's where I worked before. Okay, so that's the our third speaker. Whilst Prof. Hariri already here as well. Hello, Prof. Mr. Hariri.
Hello.
Hello, nice to meet you again.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yes. So he will be our fourth speaker. He's as you can see here, he's a lecturer in the University of Technology Mara, Malaysia, but he's also the chairman of the wait a minute. Like the Indian Industrial Design Association, yeah, Prof. Hariri, yeah. But
Yeah.
in Malaysia, they call.
Previously, I was the president, but no, we just have the new election.
Okay, so he will talk about the design role and the Mr. Ben will talk about the communication in the company. Yeah, Pak Ben.
Communication and also design, industrial design,
the design
also.
process in the Torch ID. Okay, so shall we start with Torch ID first, and then later on we will have Prof. Hariri, and then as usual we will have the question and answer at the end of our presentation of speakers. Each speakers will have 30 minutes, so take your time. Yeah. Mr. Ben Wirawan.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll be sharing the. Okay. Is it live? My presentation. Okay.
Yes, you can see it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Bu Winta. It's been a really long time we didn't meet. Thank you very much for the invitation here. Quite an honor to be here. I usually, well, for the past 10 years, actually, people usually invite me as an entrepreneur. So it's really an honor to be back here as a designer and practitioner. And I'll be sharing my experience within the last 5 to 7 years in building a company called Torch ID. So this is different. This company is different with other companies I have been founded before, because it is set up in 2015. 2017. In 2017, we have adopted the digital framework in doing our business and developing Torch, and it really has changed the way we design stuff, whether it's the communication or the industrial design part. It has changed very much. Pak Syarif itu dosen saya. Saya dulu dididik oleh Pak Syarif. Dan ternyata, saya harus mendidik diri saya kembali starting 2015, because things has changed. The abundance of information we can get from the internet has changed the way we communicate and design in Torch.id. And this is a real experience we have as a team. So a little bit introduction. Torch is a 7 years old company, quite young, for a company. We produce traveling gear innovation, backpack, waist bag, travel bag, apparels, footwear, and etc. etc. We have been awarded some awards that Bu Winta has announced, and we have been a partner for Marvel USA also. So basically, we target people who are traveling, who are going from one point to other points, and we do innovation for them in between, the innovation they need. Quite a lot of things we can do there actually. But what we are doing right now is quite different from what we are trained before, from what we are educated before. I was graduated like 22 years ago from ITB, so I noticed that something has changed, and the way we work in this age has to be different because the world has changed. For example, in the communications part, this is what's so-called the media when I got my bachelor's degree. So it's like television, radio, newspaper, magazines. This is it, the outdoor media, and this is it. This is it, and it is quite controlled. Not many people can actually do promotion here. It is edited. There is always an editor for everything we broadcast here. It is branded. It is very well planned, and it's because it has an editor, whether in our side or out in the media side. It's basically quite ethical. So the quality of data from this conventional media usually very detailed and focused. For example, you go to the library, you get when I was a student, when I was researching, I usually go to the library. I do not go to the internet. The internet is very slow then. So the quality of the data is usually very detailed and focused. It's a good data. It's ready to be prepared and ready to be used as your data for your design, for your product development. So usually the condition where the communication designers work back then is very easy. It's easy. For example, if these 10 pins is the consumers, basically you have to go get some big budget, a big balls of ads. You put it on television, newspaper, radio, outdoor media, and a magazine. Boom! You roll the ball, hit the target, and there you go. You succeeded. The rate of success is highly correlated to your budget. The bigger your budget, the bigger your probability of success, and your communication will hit everybody in this country, basically, whether they need or they don't need the product or your services. But this is right now. We're communicating through social media. The millennials, the Gen Z, they spend most of their time in social media. Their media is unedited. Sometimes it's anonymous, full of changing all the time. You cannot. You hardly able to see which one is the right one, which one is valid, which one is not. And it's very iterative. Very iterative. And you guys, the young designers here, you are living in this age. So this is the data you will get. A bunch of block colors that basically you cannot use until you sort it, until you arrange it into columns of data you would be easier for you to understand. Then you present it visually for other people to understand what actually you are telling them and make it actionable. In order to be useful, it has to go to this part. Your data is very raw right now, but with a certain skill of storytelling, of course, you get this. A very useful data that can be addressed to other people, your consumers, your client, and with which is very effective too. For example, this is one of the list of consumers who are purchasing their product through our website, torch.id. You will see this. We will know which handset they are using, whether it's Xiaomi, Oppo, which version of Xiaomi, which version of Oppo, which Samsung, and what product they are using it, and how many times they are using it to access our sites, like this. And this data would be huge. This is called big data. This would be like 1 million data, list of data you would get. And there is something useful in here that you can do, that you can use as a basic for your design. Just like what Pak Sharif just said before. Is it scientific? I guess it is, because you're using raw data and you see which one. We usually try to identify which handset they are using, which gadget, what kind. Then we see whether they are using the more expensive one, the gadget. For example, this is a 2017, 2018 data, so it's pretty old. You will see that some of them are using Samsung Galaxy S7. This would be the high-class consumer you have accessing your website. And there are people from SAS B, middle class, and also from SAS C. This data would be available for you like after you are starting to sell in your website. Probably within 3 months of data, you will get this kind of data already. Already, you don't have to be Tokopedia, you don't have to be Grab to be able to have this data. You would be like Torch, a medium-sized company, and you will already be able to process this data. From this, we're able to identify which consumers using which gadgets are attracted to which product. For example, these accessories, stuff of Torch are people from SAS A and B, meaning the middle class and the high class, is more interested in our accessories. That's a fact. And this has been it's been very easy for us to be able to identify our consumer persona. And this is very valid. And this is very iterative. What I mean by iterative is it is changing by time. You have to do this every day, every month, every quarter, every year. You have to do this. Therefore, we have built lots of dashboard. Actually, have 62 dashboard now that we are using to for our managers to see the real-time data that we are getting from the consumer. So we know now the consumer of Torch is 18 to 45 years. They are backpacker user. They are casual fashion style users, and so on and so on. We know they're tech savvy. They are very connected. They work for leisure. We know that from what? From those data. Therefore, in the communication right now, this age, it is not like playing bowling. Basically, it's more of like playing pinball. You have the consumer persona, lots of consumer persona. You have to understand that your consumers, your user, is not the same. They will be divided into different persona. Now, what you have to do is you have to create a journey for each persona of the consumers. Which persona? And create a journey for that particular persona. The longer the message is talked about in the internet, the more people talk about it, the better it is. It is definitely different from what we are doing back in the television days, back in the radio days. Now it is like this. In television days, you have to block your time, right? 30 seconds, 1 minute. Now, the better your content is designed for your customers, the longer they will talk about. They will talk about it for like 1 month. Like Citayam Fashion Week. That's a record. It's a record. They were talking about it for 1 whole month in the internet. A very successful communication. After that, then you have to make your message here. For example, the message is, it doesn't have to be big budget like the bowling balls, small budget like the pinball, and you then this is your message and then your story. Then you go throw it to the market, draw it to the audience, and you have to create this journey. Whether it goes to TikTok first, it bounces back to the influencers in Instagram probably, and people will be curious enough to go search in Google search. Probably they have to be reminded in Twitter. You have to go and create some buzz in Twitter, and people will be very, very curious, and they decided to go and check the video on YouTube, whether your video or from any video from your consumers or from influencers. It might probably go down here. It will be, it will be dead, basi in Bahasa Indonesia, probably. But you have Facebook ads and Google ads also. Basically, Google ads and Facebook ads nowadays serves as activation platform. It's not an ads platform anymore. It's an ad activation platform. So whether when the issues go cold, go activate it with Facebook or Google ads. Probably it will go back here to these pins, to the social media, social commerce, probably messenger services. And you still probably will have a return of none, or probably you'll go get your consumer shop in Shopee, Tokopedia, your website, and on. So it has become somewhat more complex, but it is more accessible for young entrepreneurs and young designers because this process is actually cheap. Okay. And for product designers, and it has been also changed quite a bit. No, like 80%, I guess. The way we design something has changed completely because of this huge information we have in our hands. For example, I used to design in a lab. I used to design in a workshop. When you design in a lab, you design a prototype, you rarely meet the consumers, right? You basically research, you basically design with same fellow designers. And does it mean that it will be mature enough with time? Not necessarily. Sometimes it is a winner. Sometimes it's a so-so product, or it just flunk. Why it flunk? You never talk to the consumers. You design it for yourself or for your team or for your company. The problem is your company doesn't purchase your own product. Your consumers purchase them, right? It has been, well, we have to do what we can, given the condition that 20 years ago, the amount of information we have is quite slow and not that much, and good information is very cheap then. Nowadays, we understand that we can use this research of Everett Rogers about the diffusion of innovation. Actually, when we are talking about our consumers, there has always been 16% of them, that is 2.5% of innovators consumers, not designers, innovators, consumers who are an innovation also, like new things. And the new early adopters, 13.5%. So basically this 16% of, give and take 16% of consumers who are very easily, easily approached by ads, by influencer, because they like change. They like to change things to change themselves, what they wear, what they use. They like to be the center of attention. They like to test new technology, new design. And also the early adopters who like breakthrough, something that is good for them. This is very useful for me. I will not try it. For example, I am one of this. I am one of the early adopters. When I scroll Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, I see good thing, good design, very eye-catching. Without thinking too much, I usually purchase them, not knowing that it is actually will be useful or not for me. And I do not regret it. This kind of consumers is your best friend for every startup, for every young ventures, for every young designers. Because what they will purchase a good product, they will give them some new things, whether it's innovation, whether it's look, and they will actually influence the early majority of the consumer, the late majority, and also the late majority of the consumer to purchase them after this early majority purchase them. Ini sahabat kita. And we can use the approach of startups for design because they are actually using the same framework with us. For example, when you're designing something, you have an idea, build it, develop them, and get the MVP running on the market as fast as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be representing your idea already, though it's not perfect yet. But get it to the consumer, try to sell it, because some of this consumer, actually this one, the innovators and the early adopters, they will purchase your product, whether it is a perfect product or not. And they will tell you whether your product here is good enough for them, have some flaws, or very good already. They will suggest you a better color. They will suggest you a better feature, function, and all. And then you measure them like how we measure always using the computers, of course, and the internet, of course, to get the data and learn which feature you will develop more to be focused on, or which feature you have to just omit. Forget it. The consumer turns up, they don't need it, so don't design more of the features. So it is a very long iteration. Some of the product can actually take like 6 months or maybe a year to iterate into a very a more viable product in the market. So this is basically how we do it. So we create minimum viable products. Usually the MOQ also is very minimum. We only in Torch for the minimum viable product, we only produce for 200 pieces of them. Minimal, so very minimal. This is the initial stage of the first workable and sellable version. It has to be sellable, of course, because you have to try to sell it, because people have to sell it and give you their feedback. This is the workable and sellable version of your new product concept or new business. And we iterate in the market, get feedback from them, and usually back to the drawing board and try to design it better and try to put some advertising to it. And we have to get this curve. As long as the curve is not this long, slanted growth on the market. So this is called the market traction, where the market growth is consistent with the amount of money invested in your advertising, production, and distribution. As long as it still have this very pendek, very short curve, it means you have to still iterate. When you get this long slanted curve like this, it means, oh, time to scale up. This is time to scale up. So basically, we are designing this with the consumer. We have to design your product in this era outside of the lab. You have to design your product with the consumers and get the feedback from the customer through the internet. So this part here, we are proving the value of hypothesis, whether the product or the service will have value for its early adopter only, the early adopter only. And here we are proving the growth hypothesis, whether the consumer is, it has value for more consumers, bigger consumers, the early majority and late majority in a the shortest amount of time you have. Why? Why it has to be in a short amount of time? Because in this digital world, when you are broadcasting something to public, you are also broadcasting your ideas to your competitor. Don't forget about that. So basically, this is the search phase, where you try to do your customer discovery phase. You validate the customer, you pivot if you fail, you go there again. It's a circle. If there is still some feature you have to iterate, you pivot, try to pivot. After it is proven only for the early adopters, then go to scale up. This is the customer creation and the company building part. So basically, the development of the product is hand by hand along with the development of the company itself. Okay, and do I have still, 6 minutes? And also, some people actually thought of us as a fashion brand, which, well, partially correct, because we do designs for backpacks, clothing, footwear, apparel. But we are also a utility company. So I mean, people purchase our products because of the utility, the function it gives, the benefit it gives to the consumer because of this utility or because of its visual value. But you have to remember that you have to design all this category of products every time, each quarter, each month, each year. So this is called the PMS portfolio map. This would be your portfolio in your company. Usually this is what we do in Torch. So we have the pioneer portfolio. This is basically the most innovative product we can think of, where other company doesn't have the same product, even close to our designs. So basically this is our blue ocean. This is the most powerful source of profitable growth. This doesn't have to be pretty much, but you have to have this. And you have your migrators. This is basically product offering that is a little bit slightly better than products in the market. So basically this product, like the traveling backpack and also the sandal for Umrah, for Hajj, we categorize this as pioneer product. There is basically almost no company is have the same product and competing with us. In this product, this is a packable jacket. We consider it as a migrator because, well, some other company they do have this product, but ours are cheaper, a bit cheaper than from the market leaders' product. And the settlers are simply defined as imitation of other business or product. Imitation meaning that other people have this category of product, not imitating as in you hijack their design, right? And don't do that. Don't hijack any company's design. That would be very counterproductive. And you will see here that Pioneer's product, usually after several years, months, they will become migrator products, and they will become settler once the other people are also producing it. So you have to have this portfolio like this, lots of product in a set as a pioneer, migrator, and settler. For example, this is how we design our pioneer product. So we try to find in the market a niche that people are not yet addressing it. For example, there are many products in this category, hiking category. Lots of brands are doing this. And there are also luggage like this. People are also designing this. But we do a hybrid for traveling backpack category. For people who like to travel, doesn't want to use the luggage hopper. They like to put their packs in their bags, and voila. And this has been fast moving for 5 years. This category, new category. Also this, you can find high-end hiking, lots of brands doing this, and you will find also low-end Hajj and Umrah sandals in the market. But we are the only brand who has high-end Hajj and Umrah sandal. This is a specific consumer, and this is ours. 15% of people who go to Hajj and Umrah are using store sandal, and while we are still a very young company. Okay, thank you very much for your attention, guys. Looking forward for the discussion after the presentation of Professor Hariri. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Assalamualaikum.
Mr. Ben. Wow, what a journey. So it's another user-centered, yeah, practice. So it's like shift to this era when what Dr. Sarif said, like technology involved. Okay, thank you. Prof. Hariri, are you ready for deliver your presentation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We
Yes.
like. Yes, we would like to know about the designer role. Yeah.
Okay. So can I share? Shall I share now? Yeah, the screen.
Okay. So Prof. Hariri also has got the industrial design background, and he's specialized himself in the automotive design. Got his master at the Coventry University, UK, and also PhD design, image and identity at Birmingham City University. And also he's doing this postdoc certificate in research method in Birmingham City University as well. Okay.
So can you
Please.
see on the screen?
Yes, we can see your presentation already.
Okay. I just tried the second one. Is it moving?
Yes.
All right, that's great. Okay.
Clear and crisp. Thank you. Please.
So I got roughly about 30 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
Take your time.
Firstly, I'd like to say thank you very much to our moderator and also the chair lady today, this afternoon. I'd like also to say thank you to the organizer who invited me to share a little bit of knowledge in regards to that what we have for our session about contemporary design identity. I think it's a very interesting topic, and a theme that been set for this 7th International Industrial Design Fair 2022, which is about the optimistic yet realistic and contemporary problem solution. So therefore, by looking at the theme this year, I'm going to talk about integrated product development and designer's role, because I think this is something that can be correlated with our title when we talk about contemporary design. And it's very interesting to listen to what been shared by Mr. Ben just now. So I think what I have basically is almost similar thing about role and function of designers. Yeah. So I've seen that most of the our attendee today is our young people. So who's going to be the future designers? And I like something made by Ben just now about the maintaining your own design, create your own design rather than copying others. So that is very important for designers. Yeah. What I mean by integrated product development is that in the process of doing design, I think have been shared just now by Ben, is something basically that's what understood by the integrated product development. So how we integrate when you're designing a product, starting from the beginning to the final product, they must went through the process. So when we through the process, there are different kind of process that we have to verify and come to this situation. If I may reflect back when I'm joining the university in 1991, a long time ago, and many of you who are listening to this have not been born yet, maybe, I guess. So at that time, I remember when I first got a job teaching in the University Technology Mara, I teach a student how to do sketching technique, to do a perspective, and to create design. So it's not teach them how to draw, but how to do design and how to understand and to read design. So that is something that is most important. At that particular time, we are very much into manual rendering, using a marker, using pastel, and so on. Why is it important? Because whatever that you put it on the paper, how you translate your ideas into the paper, that is how will be read by the other users or other viewers of your product. In particular, when you need to share with the management. So it's quite important for us to make sure that there are management people. Sometimes they don't have knowledge about design. So we have to make them understand about design. So in this manner, therefore, whatever that we put it on paper, able to be viewed by others or able to be read by others. But today, I believe with the digitalization, make the job much easier. You can see many things. And I used to say that sometimes you can learn from the Professor Yahoo or Professor Google easily. Yeah? So nowadays, and when we talk about Professor Yahoo and Professor Google, with the digitalization, the beauty of digitalization is that you can manipulate the design. So which is something not good. Even today's, yeah, you can take other people's, you change 30%, and then you can apply better. But that is not the practice that we are looking for our designers. So therefore, when people talk about design always been associated with the beauty, something nice, something presentable. Yeah? But actually, it's more than that. Why design is important? Because design communicates. Whatever ideas that we put in is communicating between us and the product and also the users. In some situation, the product able to deliver messages that we try to portray through whatever form, shape that we have put in. And sometimes the way the product function also is communicate with our users. So in this manner, actually, when we look about the communication into design, so design is not about beauty, it's not about nice or presentable. Design is about many things. Usability, about the image, the identity, the material, the pleasure. So you can put up many meanings in the form of design. So in the other manners, I would say that design is something beyond the beauty. Yeah. So I want our future designers to understand this, that design is beyond the beauty. Therefore, when we look into the good mark design, either we have from Malaysian Good Design Award. For Japan, they got the G mark. Sometimes you go for the whatever award they can find all over the world. They have a different category. Why they made in a different category? Because the definition of design, depending, is not about the beauty, about the function, practicality, usability. But for the heavy industry, the design is not about the beautiful of the product, but very much about how the product able to deliver whatever proper function that need to be served for the particular job. So therefore, in this manner, in some situation, you can say that design is something that show our ability, how we're able to create something new, something different from others. So we don't do something like this. Yeah. So this is common thing that we've seen happening around the world, in particular previously in China, but China have changed today because we've seen that the China being number 4 on the context of industrial design, but soon in 2025, being expected that China is going to be number 1 to lead the whole world in terms of industrial design. Before they're known for the copy ethic, but they're changing or moving now. They start setting up or hiring more people that come in from the other continent to be designers in their country. So the globalization movement of designers have changed the nature of local culture. And I believe that this situation come to the day that where the design is no more like in particular to the certain culture, but it's going to be very much about the global culture design. Okay, so this is the thing I think we mentioned by Ben just now about we don't take others and claim that is ours. So that is a bad practicing ethic. Yeah. So in this manner, design is about product differentiation. We use our ability and we use our ideas, originality that we have, and how we translate and transform those to become something unique, something that can be appreciated by others. So the copying ethic is not something that we are looking for. Yeah? So it's called insanity. This is pick up one of the word or statement made by Albert Einstein. Yeah, you keep doing the same thing over and over again, then call it insanity. And the same thing same thing as well. If you take others and claim that it's yours, and claim that is something that been created through your own exploration, also for me is insanity. So is that do something that coming up from our own research, our own finding, and then from there you can share with others about your creativity and how you're able to translate those creativity to become something into reality that can be more practical and usable by others. So therefore, to avoid the insanity, we have to come up with a good design. And in creating a good design is about something that can be remembered by others. I'm giving here the Coca-Cola that was created in the 1800s, yeah, to the late 1800s. You see the evolution of the bottle. Come to the latest one, they create the bottles that represent the Formula One, which is quite interesting. And they still keeping the same sexy shape of the bottle. So in this matter, why they bring back the heritage of the product through the process, and they still keeping the design, image, and identity of the particular product. So when we look into the theme of our conference, we talk about the contemporary design identity. So depend, some contemporary design identity may last. In some situations, it seems that from my observation, they will be faded after 2 or 3 years. So when we see something that will last, so we call it design that able to be successful more than 15 or 20 years. And you can see this a lot in the automotive industry in particular that I will share later. Okay, further to this, why design is important? Because design is a powerful weapon for company to differentiate the product and function from others. So this is the beauty of us being a design people. We're able to make the management believe in what we are doing. So therefore, being a designers, you are not supposed to sit behind the screen, just listening to what been instructed for us. Sometimes we are have a constraint. For example, you got the policies. Sometimes you got the limitation by the manufacturer. Sometimes you got the instruction made by the management people that we cannot go beyond. But I believe it's our job as a designer to educate the management, as a designer, to make sure that the people around us who are working with us, as they are a decision maker, as they are the manufacturer, or they are the outsourced people that are going to work with us, we're supposed to educate them. So when we say you educate them, so this is something that I'm going to also share with you, the important how design ideas and thinking can create a useful innovation. How we can make sure that, sorry, my slide is moving, is it? Hello?
It's yeah, we can see the your presentation.
The design
there.
ideas and thinking now, is it?
Yes, how to drive design ideas and thinking to create.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So back to what I mentioned just now about design ideas and thinking is that how we're going to create a useful innovation. There are 3 things that you can put up the question. So talk about desirability of the person. Will people like it? Will they like what their design? Will they buy your design? That's another thing. And then viability. When we talk about viability, to what extent the product can be viable in the market. Yeah? And lastly, about the feasibility. Sometimes we produce a beautiful product. I think it's common to see in the classroom or in the studio that come up with think that something really nice, something useful. But when you sit down with a fabricator, you sit down with the manufacturer, or you sit down with the engineers or design engineers, or even the manufacturing engineers, and they say your product is not feasible for the production. When it's not feasible for the production, we talk about limitation in terms of manufacturing processes. In some situation, maybe the product look nice, but too costly to be produced. In some situation, we don't understand the equipment that we have in our factory, so we need to outsource the product. But today, I believe with the new digital technology, outsourcing is not a limitation anymore. So through the online, through the internet, we can communicate our product without traveling from one continent to another, but very much about how we can send it over and discussing about the cost. Everything can be done for online. So that is the beauty of, I think, the digitalization in the manufacturing today. So in this manner, you can say that the good design commonly bring together about the human point of view and how we incorporate those with the technology that we have surrounded us. I remember during earlier time, I involved in teaching. Everything is about by hand. We have the machinery, very much about the mechanical machinery. But today, through your ideas, you put it on the paper, you translate those ideas, and it can become reality in front of your eyes through the 3D printer. And 3D printer is everywhere, and those technology, you can utilize it. Something that impossible before is possible today that can be done. Right? Okay. So therefore, with the title that I'm trying to share about the integrated product development, commonly we talk about the product, the manufacturing processes, and also the support processes. So in this manner, they are interrelated. So therefore, being a design person, you are not about just scribbling or scribble things on the paper. So also, but most important, excuse me, boleh tak? Voice. Sorry. Right. Okay, another thing about product manufacturing and support process, they are interrelated. Being a design person, you must not only understand about the product, but most importantly, to understand also about the manufacturing processes. How you correlate one manufacturing process to one another. And then another thing about supporting the processes. So supporting the processes means we talk about the technical people, we talk about the outsource where you can find the outsourcing of your product, and what about the transporting your product, partly be part of the support processes. In that manner, when we talk about integrated product development itself, commonly there are about 11 principles. Some they have 9, even some they have 7 principles. So you can find this easily. The process that we went through from understand the customer need and what requirement of them, to the later one, how we're going to improve the process of the product. So in this manner, actually, you can see in 3 things. Either you talk about the integrated product development principles, or you talk about the integrated product development process, or you talk about the integrated product development support. So there are 3 different things, and this need to be meshed with the process we are doing the product. But no matter how, you don't have to follow the whole principle, but we can use partly depending to suit with what kind of product that we need to produce, right? Okay. Therefore, to create a new product, I'm sure there are challenges. So we need a lot of skill. So when we say skill here, it's not about the idea skill, but skill to understand what the customer needs, skill to get some feedback, the skill to get the information related to a product. And when you talk about the energy, it's not about being strong, but energy means it's not a simple task. You know, sometimes when you're going to develop a product, but the synergy in between the team, the synergy in between the designers, the manufacturers, or the design engineers is very important in this process. And also about synergy with the marketing people and say, if you create the product, but there's no market for it, and then become a failure design as well. Sometimes we create beautiful product, but the product function doesn't serve the purpose, so can be part of the failure design. So in this manner here, so it's quite important for us to understand some kind of knowledge before we can create a good product. So therefore, research play a very important role. Research play very important roles. Why? In the research, and then you get the information about the customer, you get information about the market, you get information about the physical product. So therefore, in this manner, actually, when we compare to what we are doing, the reality in the classroom, we can fit the information in the classroom. But when you go outside to be in the real industry, you have to deal with the reality. So when you deal with the reality, you cannot simply check the market, because at the end of the day, investment is about the ROI, return of investment. Whatever that we put up for the investment, what is the return, and everybody is looking for the profit. And in industry, time is very important. So when we talk about time, we don't have time to sit down and look through the concept, look through the whatever that you to put it into your product. But at the end of the day, the company always talk about the profit. And this is the challenges that came and need to be faced by the designers, is about having knowledge. So when we talk about knowledge, it's not about design knowledge. You need to also encompass in what you're doing, the knowledge of the from the social media, the knowledge about the material, the knowledge about the manufacturing processes, and you need to know also the cost of making. I remember when we worked together with a group of young designers, they come up with a nice design. But unfortunately, of about 10 products that be made as a prototype, none that cannot be produced, can't be produced. Why? Because they don't calculate the cost, they don't calculate the wastage of the material, they don't see all those processes. Therefore, a challenge for a designer, you need to have this kind of knowledge. And of course, we cannot get the knowledge overnight. The knowledge need to gain through experiences. But today you are much more luckier during our compared to our time, because today knowledge can be gained simply through the internet. We just press the button, but just to ensure that we get the right knowledge. And those knowledge also not only to be dependent on the internet, you need to refer to the right people to confirm for what you're having the information is the truth information. Okay. When we talk about challenges also, it's about creativity, how you use the see the problem, sometimes as the open or close, and the problem consideration in many ways. Yeah. So consideration in terms of what the customer need, consideration in terms of as the product have a lot of competitors in the market or not. So those are the things that in challenges that need to be addressed and to be considered in whatever the process that you do. So in this manner, again, as I mentioned earlier, the concurrent technology and engineering able to make the impossible previously become the possible today. Just to share with you another example, when this car was produced in 1939, yeah, before the Second World War, they call it the Citroën TPV. They create this product purely for the army use, yeah, and it's a very lightweight. They just use like the for the gunner, just long mover machine for the vehicle. But after the war, they made improvement to the design, where the brief given to a designer is about low price to create something like umbrella on 4 wheels, means something cheap and simple, and able to carry 4 people, to transport 50 kilograms of farm good to the market with a speed average of about 50 kilometers per hour. So when you look at these 3 things, yeah, brief given to them, we talk about there's something soft, something fragile, something that can easily breakable, or something that can be knocked off, yeah, with a people touch. So therefore, a designer have to use their brain to work together with their engineers before they can come up with this kind of product. and they started the production in 1948 to 1990. The beauty of this vehicle is that you can have a glass of water, put it on the dashboard. Inshallah, it won't spill off whatever speed that you drove this car. Why? Focus being given on the suspension. So when we talk about the suspension, it's also about designing the good suspension for the vehicle. It's not about the engineering load, but where to place and so on. A combination of the thought of designers and engineer work together in this manner. So what I'm trying to share here, actually, designers, we don't work alone. We need to work with people around us. That's why I mentioned earlier that being as the designers, we are the mediator in the process. We are the one that going to coordinate in between the people. We are the one who are able to educate the management usually about to ensure that the product need to be produced and potentially for the market. So for this vehicle, you can see the first production was 1948 and was survived until 1990, and almost about 4 million vehicle was designed on the road. And now it's not designed for, it was designed for functionality, but for the market, it's been accepted as a yuppie vehicle. You see how sometimes the beauty, the memorable design have changed how people adapt to the product itself. Okay, further to this, as I mentioned earlier, that how design communicate or deliver messages. So how we integrate in between the human emotion and character into the vehicle or into the product itself. So in this manner, why I'm focusing on the headlamp, because usually when you look at the vehicle, the headlamp always become like a representation of the eyes. How it's communicate with the people, the first impression we see. Yeah, the bigger the lighting unit and the cuter become the vehicle, and the smaller become the stinky eyes. Yeah, so this is the kind of thing that how designer put up their creativity to make the product communicate and deliver messages. So I'm sure you're quite familiar with this and how Toyota try to place themselves in the market. Yeah, in the vehicle design, I've seen there are three things. Number one, they design following the heritage, like Jaguar and Mercedes. Number two, about the family. So we talk about Ford, yeah, Kia, and so on. And the third one is about the trend. So in this manner, how Toyota have to find a way to make the products in the market by connecting the product with the transformer concept. So in this manner, the integration in the product development with the contemporary design image and about contemporary design image and representation. So what kind of representation that you see here is the transformer representation into the vehicles. And it's not only they transform this into the Alphard or even the Velfire, it just go across in most of the model produced. I'm talking about the mega model, for example, like the Camry and the Harrier models of the Toyota. So this is among the example that I would say how they apply the contemporary design image and representation into their product. And to come up with this idea is about how the integration process went through in the design development. Yeah, okay. Next, as what been said by Warren Buffett, you know, among the richest person in the world, the key to making good businesses decision is understanding opportunity cost. So again, sometimes we put aside the cost, but I'm sure people like Ben, cost is very important. Being the manufacturer, every single cent is counted in our process. Every single cent will have an impact to our ROI, return of investment. So in this manner, if a designer understands the cost from the beginning, and then they'll be good for you in the process. But the cost shouldn't be the limitation on how we're going to explore our creativity. That is two different things. Yeah. So the creativity must go beyond the cost, but we must understand the cost and the process, how we mesh them together. And further to this, sometimes how we try to bring the surrounding or what we experience into the real product. So you can see like this one, fresh from the oven. The concept is there, clearly shown to the users. So it seems like whatever that you wanted, right in front of your eyes. So simple packaging, but very powerful and have a strong impact for the users. So this is the kind of thing sometimes it's not coming up like one night thought. This is where designers have to go through the process, look through whatever related information, we put it all together, have a brainstorm with your group, and you will come up with something unique and something that can be accepted by our customers, the end users. Yeah, and differentiate. They are different in between the customers and the users. Yeah, and the consumer. There are three different things. So don't blanket them together. Customers is different from the users. Users is different from the consumers. And sometimes in the college, we thought that this is a similar people. They are totally a different kind of people. Consumer are people who are going to consume. User people who are going to use your product. But customer not necessarily the users. So where are you targeting your product? Yeah. Next, when we look through in the context of product emotion, yeah. So we talk about product emotion. In the automotive industry, they bring a lot about product emotion. So this is where we look at the product, how the product emotion being engaged with the users. And I'm sure like the product that been shown earlier, they have some kind of attachment bonding in between the product and also the users. So in this manner, for example, like what been shared by Donna Norman, you can read about the behavioral of the users through the creation of product. So he's a guru of the product emotion. In this manner, actually, he just designed the teapot, but not the non-teapot. How you place the tea bag inside, or you pour the water and you put the tea bag, and then you tilt it 45 degrees, and then you shake the water and you get the first tea. The second and the third tea, that is the real one that you need to have from your cup to taste what is the truth by the taste of the tea itself. So in this manner, it's not about the designing the product, how he engage the users through the process of using the product before he get the end product, which is the tea itself. So maybe this is I think I would like to conclude my presentation for this afternoon. I'm hoping that what I've shared with you in a very short time is something that able to see the importance of industrial designers to understand the integration in the process of product development. So it's not about designing product through what we feel, what we thought is the best, but most important, how we can fulfill just or satisfy our users, our customer, and our consumer. That is most important because they are the end users. They are the one who have the power on the market, either to purchase or not to purchase our product. So with that, I would like to say thank you very much. I hope what I've shared becomes something, a knowledge that can be a daily practice for you for the future designers. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Hariri. How's Malaysia?
Okay, alhamdulillah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it night already? Like we are 8 hours apart, yeah?
No,
Or is
no,
it morning?
we are just about 10 past 1 at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we are earlier then. I mean, here we also have got like friends from your university as well.
Yeah. So I know there's some of them from the university went there to be to exhibit their product. Yeah.
I see. Thank you so much. So from two speakers we've got in this afternoon, there's like a cross line here, the same keywords as well, that we can see like the product is not only an object, but it's also it has got like a life cycle. Yeah, it's created, and then it grows, and then it just delivered, and then used, and then it will be like and then it just like going to the cycle all over again. And then the word of integration keep going like this in afternoon as well, and it also appear in this the morning session. So all of the speakers has got the same paradigm towards the product design, industrial design context as well. And before that, oh, and also the storytelling, like it's about Prof. Hariri said about deliver the message, and also Mr. Pan also tell about the storytelling, how important it is to catch the story and then to deliver the story to the customer as well. And then let's see if there's any question here from the venue, or do we, I saw that we have got like online the questions. Can we show it here? No, I could not see that. Can we have here? Because I'm a long side. Okay, so there's a greeting. Hello, hello. But can we go up? Is that the first question?
No. Can I ask?
Oh, oh, sorry. Oh, okay. There's like.
It's okay. I will ask first. It's okay, or you want?
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay.
You first. Would you mind to kindly say your name and then what institution from?
Sure. My name is Barida. I think Pak Ben and Prof. Hariri also already know. I have a question for, I think, both of you. What is the best product dealing with human-centered design that you already designed it before? And the second question is, I think you, both of you is already success now. But my question is like, what did you do as a student in the past that you think very important to adopt by current student? Thank you.
Okay, so two questions. One stone. Who will share the experience first? Is it like Mas Ben?
Okay.
All right.
I was just about to say professor first.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's okay if Barida the easy one first, okay? What did you do as a student in the past? What I do in the past and what I do right now is basically the same, which is learning. So that's the main thing you have to do in order to be in the era, you have to learn and learn. As mentioned by the moderators, that Bu Winta, that I actually went to NUS to learn marketing. Aside of I'm being a designer who likes to draw stuff, I decided to go to NUS and learn about marketing, something that is not in my comfort zone, something that is alien to me. So you have to challenge yourself to learn something new. And it's easier right now. In Torch, for example, every Torch crew is subjected to post whatever they read each day, whether it's a book or a podcast or a video podcast, a YouTube. They have to post it online in our WhatsApp group, and in our we have a Google Sheet for that, to make sure that everybody learns something new every day. And learning is it's different from school. Learning is learning. It doesn't have to be in school. You have to learn all the time, all your life. That's what I think I do in the past, and still I'm doing right now, and it's very valuable right now. And for the first question, best product that is human-centered design I have ever designed, it might probably the Torch guard. It is APD. I don't know what it's called in English. I forgot. It's a suit, APD suit that we are using in the pandemic back in April 2020. Back then, the government can only provide 10% of the required suit for every hospital in Indonesia. And we designed one that is actually very cheap and certified it has all the certification it needs to be used for be used in clinical profession. So it's a very human-centered. It is able to be used for 8 hours without having to be dehydrated. It costs only 15,000 rupiah, $1 per usage, while back that time it cost 1,500,000 rupiah if we have to import it from abroad. It can be used for salat because it will be used for a long run, like 8 hours per usage, and it is also very successful in the market and also very successful in winning us 2 awards from Indonesia and China. You know, this is a very good product. I realized this is a good product when I put an ads for this product, 59-second ads in Instagram for only 75,000 rupiah, less than 100,000 rupiah. Only what? Around $12. And it gave us back ROI of, oh, how much? It sold for 9 millions in the first month. Sorry, 9 billions in the first month. 9 billion rupiah in the first month. So human-centered design is good in every way, I guess, because when you are designing the product, you are thinking all the aspect of the product, either the economical aspect, either the ergonomical aspect, whether the production aspect. Almost all the product we design in Torch is always considering all those stuff. But some product is actually better than others because of the needs is greater in that season. Thank you, Barida. I hope that answers your questions.
Yes, thank you
Silakan,
so
Prof.
much. And for information, you can see the explanation and the story of the Torch card on their website, the Torch ID. There's like the breathable features, nonlinear stitch design, and all of the tests that they used and the testimony as well. Okay, thank you so much, Mas Ben. Prof. Hariri, could you share your insight for
Okay.
that question?
Okay, thank you very much. Basically, I'm not a full-time designer. Yeah? Partly I started my life as a craft designer with the Malaysian Handicraft. And then after that, I went to further my study. And then I worked as a junior designer in the automotive industry. And then coming back to become academician. So to answer the question, what I did in the past and what we have today, basically, previously been a designer, as I mentioned earlier, that we just sitting behind the screen to create the design, yeah, put up on the screen, and then give to our design manager, and they bring to the decision maker to come up with a product. But halfway through, I found out we have to be more than that. So I think that the role and function of designers actually is beyond that. So I got the opportunity while working that become a mediator. When I say mediator, as I mentioned earlier, how we have to deal with the people surrounding us, how to make sure that the problem that always occur between us and the decision maker, maybe like Ben could be okay because your own company, you are a designer, you are a decision maker. But when you receive a paycheck at the end of the month, it's about convincing the management about what you're doing. But you need to educate them. That's why I call that VP a mediator. So to be a mediator, you must have knowledge that you're able to speak different languages. What I mean different languages is not like Indonesia, Chinese, and so on. Languages in terms of a design process. So understand material, manufacturing, you understand those kind of processes, and then you're able to share this knowledge with the decision maker. They are quite important. They are two things. The decision maker, in which the CEO, the president, or the general manager, or the second one, quite important, is the finance people. So they are the one that are going to say yes or no about your future development of the product. So that is one thing that I've learned. That's what they said by them as well. Learning is a never-ending process. So previously, when we talk about long time ago, maybe 150 years ago, about form follow function, function follow form, come to the late 90s, you're talking about the how the emotion come into play and design follow the emotion. But today it's not about design follow the emotion. Today it's about how the emotion have a strong influence to the way we create the new product. So we're bringing about the character into the product. We're bringing about the expression of emotion into the product that can be found in between the human and also the animal. So maybe for the human, we call it anthropomorphism, and the animal, you call it zoomorphism, and you bring those elements into what you are doing. So anyway, and then back to the product that I have involved with, I should take maybe from the craft and then get involved into the automotive design, and then some small product design for the small client. But lately, in the past, I think we say 10 years, the thing that really satisfied me when we talk about human-centered design, I work together with my teammate, Prof. Saiful from the University of Malaysia, Sarawak. We've been designing that really satisfied me is the Rumah Ketam. Because the project Rumah Ketam, I mean the crack house, where we're able to understand the way we break the crack. So the crack means the ketam. It took about like 3 months from grade C to grade A, but with the crack house that we have designed, it only end up to 1 year. So the price in between the grade C and grade A crack is huge difference in between those, and sometimes almost double. So the beauty of this product, we're able to help the fishermen that won't be able to go to the sea during the monsoon season to increase their economy, So they can focus on what they're doing by bringing the ketam and partly become their ecotourism project. That is something that I would say have a strong memorable in my design trait of product. So maybe that's the thing that I could share.
Yes, thank you so much. So it's like about learning and mediating, because we're just like we kind of like middlemen, yeah, designer itself, the roles in the ecosystem. Okay, thank you so much. Can we go to the first pertanyaan? Apa? Questions? Is it the first one, or can we go up? Yang pertama, pertanyaan pertamanya. Mana pertanyaan pertama? Tadi. Ini, okay. So, from Ruben, yeah. So, thank you so much for regarding the big data, Mas Ben, yeah. That makes me want myself. And then for 2 years, I've been 3D printed car miniature business. And currently we use the pre-order system, but I've been thinking about making ready stock items. The problem is how to know how much should we make, especially for the new product. So it's like a startup questions. Would you like to answer it?
Yep. Okay, thank you, Ruben. So basically MVP should be as easy as you can. For me, usually is the MOQ, but it's different for all the company out there. It is also the face of the company, the size of the company decide how much the MVP should be. But for me, it's a little as I can. But usually we test at least 50 products. Though right now we test at least 200 products. Why 50? Well, it's basically statistically it will give you more or less 5 margin of errors. Small bias. So the most important thing about the MVP is not really how many people are testing your product and purchasing your product for the first time, but how to be able to design the way, a roadmap where they can actually give feedback to you and probably some feed forward how your design should be. Sometimes sometimes consumer doesn't know what they want. Sometimes they really know what they need and they want. So please make sure that you have an open communication channel with your consumers, always starting from your company from your company still in a small stage. I guess that's how I do it.
Okay, so useful tips. So engagement and also the quantity, 50.
Yep.
Okay, so the next one. Next one. Okay, it's still particularly for the startup Torch ID from Miss Tiffany from UPH Jakarta. So does the MVP cycle happen on all product categories? Okay, so the pioneer, marketer, and settler. If yes, how do you manage the different MVP cycle on the multiple product categories? How are the product designers organized in Torch, like one team for one product categories or mixed? I have another question about MVP process in Torch. They say the important thing in MVP is defining MVP success metric. In Torch, how do you define them? Can you give us some examples? Oh, there's so many questions.
This is like 3 questions. So okay.
Okay. One by one. Take your time.
Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, first the MVP. Does it have to be in every category? No. MVP is not always for every category. If you see a market in a migrator or settler segment that is still big enough for your company to go in there, to entry, the market is not too saturated. Feel free to enter the market, no problem. We doesn't have to be an innovators all the time. Sometimes a designer have to be able to see which color is going to hit the trend next year. To give alternatives, small alternatives like coloring, range of color is also an important thing, and it's very hard thing to do if we want to do it seriously. But make sure that your company, when designing products every quarter, every year, that you are designing, producing, and distributing products in every part of the portfolio map. Every product for the portfolio map, whether it is the pioneer, migrator, and settler. Okay, that's for the first question. And the second question about the design team. In our design team, there is a specialization of products. So some designers design bags, some designers specializing in footwear, some of them designing the apparels. But it is very open to them to give feedback or feed forward to the ideas of other designers. And sometimes they are actually, just for the fun of it, designing other people's project, going into other people's project, biar nggak bosan, right? And also, the design process in Torch is actually reviewed every week. So we have this meeting called the product design meeting every Friday afternoon, where all the managers, not only the design managers, the supply chain management, HR managers, production managers, are presented by the designers, the designers team, about the new the design they are developing that week. How much it is progressing, whether they have a problem or would be a problem in production. They are a bit hesitant to design some design because of they're not sure whether this can be produced or not. So this is a very open meeting. Actually, people who are listening, because our Tor's office is one big open space. So when other people from other department actually hear something that interests him and he has an input, they can actually join the meeting. Just to raise their hand, can I join the meeting? So it's a very open process. And the last question about the iteration metric, yes, the iteration metric is very important, and the metric itself should be iterated. So basically, right now in TORS, when we have an MVP going in the market, usually the MVP is about 10 to 20% of the product we are producing. So 20% of the product in TORS is a new product. It's new products, I mean, new products. And the metric is, it is evolving. But for example, what we have right now, for every MVP to be able to go through the second production phase, it has to be sold 50% of them within 2 weeks. If not, we have to get consumers' response, ask the consumers why they don't like it. If a product is good, we also ask the consumer, why do you like it? And produce more. Okay, mungkin from Devani. Terima kasih pertanyaannya, mudah-mudahan membantu.
So it's about research and research communication and being disciplined, to have a new product, and then so it's the key words. Okay, the next question is for Prof. Hariri. Would you mind to the operator? Would you mind to? Okay. All right. So greetings from the Wacana Fellows. Nice to meet you again, and very interesting presentation, and I appreciate for this insight, as well as we know that design has been used for a strategy to contribute and help to make a business decision on behalf of the design thinking, of course. In your opinion, how is effectively a design process could run the business, and which part of the process? Thank you. About design thinking, Prof.
About design thinking. So basically, it's not about the focusing on design thinking alone. That in this design process, actually, quite important for designer is to leave the customer with a very positive experience when they use the product. So why is important? Because the customer will become a messenger to our product. Sometimes in some situations you need a promotion for your product, but in certain situations they become the messenger to deliver whatever the messages that we have shared in our product itself. So in this manner, I believe that in the design process, designer must understand what actually the customer wanted. I think that's what also been discussed by Mr. Ben just now. So how we can reach the users on a different level. For example, when they look at the product, we talk about the visceral, how they face the product, they evaluate the product, they can touch, they can feel, and they can make the first judgment of the product. So if the product can attract their attention, and then become next, how they behave when they use the product, how they react to the product. So the practicality of the product, the durability of the product, and so on become the way they work with the product. So, and lastly, it's about the what is their perception of the product after they're using the product. In the product emotion that we learn, we call it a reflective emotion. So in this moment, talk about design process, there are a different level of design processes. So, and those levels not necessarily need to be applied into development of the product. It's depending. I think designing a vehicle and designing a small little product, the process could have been different from another. But in whatever reason, for me, is to fulfill what are the requests from the customer that is most important, because they will give feedback. They're the one who going to purchase, and they're the one who can make the market stop. So I think basically that's what I see from a perspective of maybe academician, why I'm not fully involved being a design person on the market itself.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you to Bhuvinta.
Yeah, thank you. So it should be integrated to every
Yeah.
single element. Yeah. Okay, so the next question is like for both speakers. Okay, so as the Industrial Revolution 4.0 influenced product design in many ways, what do we have to prepare to face Industrial Revolution 4.0 as a businessman for Mas Ben and as an academician for Prof. Hariri? With all of the benefits and there will be like challenges, what should we prepare?
Oke, silakan Pak Profesor Hariri dulu.
Oh, saya dulu ya.
Prof. Hariri.
Okay.
Yes.
I think to prepare for the future, especially from the generation that listening to our sharing today, I believe that you must be able to accommodate frequent change that happening today. And I'm sure that I'm quite amazed to see Ruben have selling his 3D models and the small scale automotive. So whereby we don't have those kind of opportunity previously. So you must accommodate yourself with frequent change, either the change of technology, the change of demographic, sometimes the change of the culture that we have today through the globalization of designers across the continent have an effect to the way the market being catered for. Another thing, I think you need to prepare for new opportunities as well. Yeah. So the new opportunity that we have that previously you need to set the market, to do a lot of promotion stuff. But today with the social media, I think you can just stay in your own house, to become your own office. This is the kind of opportunity need to be sit around. So we have so many platforms for you to share across your product. So beside that, the new opportunities also that collaboration that you can go across, yeah, between the sometimes the competitors can become your co-partner. So not necessarily the competitors become your what they call it, the enemy to you. So the opportunities that we have, look at other people's product and how you're going to bring those ideas into a different kind of product. So like when my student, I give a project to the student to design a vehicle in particular because I teach automotive design. When they need to design a car, we look into what kind of vehicle they can design, what kind of market segment, and so on. So usually I will ask them to refer not to a vehicle. The subject matter for reference could be a vacuum cleaner, could be some electrical product, could be some animal and so on. So you look into those products, not necessarily to become a subject matter that you need to transform to become your end product, but just as a guidance that to get away from the norm of common design in that particular product that we're going to create. So by doing so, this is how you disseminate your perception, disseminate your the way you view of one particular product. So a reference and it's quite important for you to ensure that whatever you created able to become something new and something different from what we have on the market. So, and another one is about the new requirement that arise today. So new requirement means we need to understand the new culture that being created by the young generation today, what they are looking for. Previously, maybe people are very loyal to certain kind of product, but today, I guess that the mode of changing in the process are able to make the product can be created in a very short time. For example, last time to develop one vehicle, you need about 5 months, 5 years, 3 to 5 years. But today they can do the changes in between the 6 months, and then you can have the new model coming out. So those are the things that I think quite important for us to look into how actually we need to prepare ourselves to face the Industrial Revolution 4.0 in the perception of academician. And then maybe another thing also I could highlight is about the the key factor to enable industrial designer when we talk about the cutting edge. Yeah, cutting edge means something that what's next that you need to do about the flexibility, collaboration, and integration. Something that related to what I've shared today. You must be flexible in what you're doing, so you don't just stick to what you believe, but also need to understand how people created yours and how we can see those opportunities and bring it to yours. Number two is about the collaboration, and number three is about the integration in the process of your doing. So maybe that is some point from the academician point of view. Back to moderator.
Thank you. What a robust explanation. Thank you, Prof. From Mas Ben?
Okay, thank you for the question. It's quite a hard question, but well, basically, for us business people, we are preparing ourselves by building a very lean organization. It has to be small enough to be agile. Big organization will not survive the next disruption, because disruption is going to come and come again. Like the dinosaur. Dinosaur is too big to survive the disruption of the meteor, right? So build a lean organization, build it as an open and learning organization also. You have to have that build an open learning culture in your team. Whatever you do recruit people who can grow, because there is no certain prediction anymore how the economy will be in the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Right now, everything is changing too fast for you to be able to react and make a long-term plan. Can I also answer this using a presentation, right? Okay. This is one of our model, our business model. This is Torch as a startup apparel brands. The growth hacking phase is helped by an outside institution, a digital marketing consultation. The social marketing, we are working with many vendors, not only from Indonesia, but also from other countries, from Malaysia, from Singapore, from Canada, from India, from Sri Lanka, from Ireland. Lots of other people are doing our stuff. We only focus on our core processes, which is designing, supply chain management, data insight, finance management. All other processes like developing the web store, we are using Shopify. We're also selling our product in our web store like Tokopedia, Bukalapak, and Shopee, of course. We're not developing it ourselves. This is developed by third parties. And even when people purchase our product, the product itself is delivered, it's stored in a third-party warehouse and fulfillment. In Indonesia, the fulfillment center is in Depok, though Torch is a Bandung-based company, but our warehouse is in Depok, is in Jabodetabek. And we also have a warehouse right now in California for our product that are sold through Amazon. And we are using the logistic of other third party also. Then they will deliver the product to the consumer. This gave us a flow of marketing data that we are using, that we'll be using to analyze how the consumers are behaving, how the market is behaving, how they are changing, using business analytical tool. And all these tools are very cheap. This can be used by you, yes, a very green startup founders. And you know what? This distribution of expertise also come with a very good feedback. Every purchase in web store and marketplaces will be stored. The data will be stored as the transaction in the payment gateway, right? We are using Zenlit and Mitras as our payment gateway, and they're storing it in their what do you call it? Their server. And the data that are stored in third-party server right now can be used as a collateral for your financing, for your company financing, for you to produce more products. I can introduce you to them if you want to. And then you produce your product, which is for Torch. We don't have any production unit right now. We only distributed them to like 20 production unit all in all Java. Then after the production, we put it in the warehouse of third-party services. And the data in the third-party services like this, your products can also be used as a collateral for your financing again. So you don't have to use the bank for financing your products, for financing your growth, for financing your company. So this kind of business models, a lean one, where you only focus on your core processes and giving other processes that are better done by other parties, is very, very advisable for young designers or young entrepreneurs to be like you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So it's about resilience, yeah, and then
Yes.
it's okay to not. We are not superhero, not Avengers, so it's okay to, and it's a powerful if we collaborate with others. But the most important thing is like strategic planning and collaboration. Okay, because of time, we're limited by time. We're so sorry that we have like some question that cannot be answered. However, it's a very, very insightful afternoon. Please give applause to both speakers. Thank you so much. Although like all of the four speakers has got the different topics, but I think like for me, I've got like some keywords, but the most important thing is like in design, being designer, it's if we want to understand other things, so many components and also the user, we have to understand and celebrate our potential as well as a human, as a tool. Maybe earlier I mentioned as well, sometimes we forgot that we have brain to think, and then so we have to do research and research and research, and then we have got body motoric things to go dirty. It means like go to the field, interact with the your customer, to the other departments, and then you have got affection, emotion that you have to explore by yourself before you can understand what other people feel, or um, others' emotion as well. So that's how you can being like understand things empathically. I think that's the silver line of everything, like for the four speakers. Okay, so this is the end of our event. Thank you so much for all of the committee and all of the speakers and the audience as well. Give applause to you. Thank you. And I will leave it to the MC. Yes.
Oke, terima kasih Bu Winta. Oke, acara selanjutnya adalah kita akan foto bersama dulu sebentar. Silakan yang ada di venue untuk maju ke depan, kita akan ambil foto. Dan mungkin untuk teman-teman yang ada di Zoom bisa menyalakan kameranya, nanti akan di screenshot oleh panitia. Yuk, mari maju. Ya, oke, nanti kita background-nya ada di sini aja ya. Backgroundnya nanti ini dilihatin ya. Mungkin teman-teman yang di luar bisa masuk juga untuk foto bersama. Ada yang berdiri belakang, ada yang duduk seperti Pak Indro di depan. Silakan, monggo. Oke, diisi itu sini masih ada yang kosong di tengah, itu nggak apa-apa, diisi aja Pak Barida. Untuk
Foto zoom karo foto manual bisa ya sisinya.
oh ya, Mbak fotografi udah kelihatan? Oh, mepet lagi. Nanti agak miring gini berarti ya. Kelihatan nggak Mas Yan? Oke. Ini untuk yang pertama kita foto yang di venue, nanti berikutnya setelah di venue nanti yang teman-teman di Zoom baru foto berikutnya. Agak maju sini nggak apa-apa, agak maju ke depan yang sebelah sini. Nah, ini maju. Nah. Kelihatan semua? Sebentar Pak, ada satu orang yang menyusul. Apakah sudah siap semua? Gimana Mbak? Sudah kelihatan? Oke. Oke, sekarang giliran teman-teman yang ada di Zoom ya. Ya, teman-teman panitia bekerja. Silakan duduk kembali, kursinya agak dirapikan sedikit. Apa? Ngomong kita. Oh, ini bentar, kita tengah sebentar biar kelihatan yang di belakang Zoom ini ya. Sorry. Ini yang biar di sini semua. Hah? Ya, yang seadanya aja kita di sini ya, biar kelihatan dengan pembicara yang ada di Zoom ya. Oh. Oh, pembicara semua. Sama panitia mungkin ya, Mbak Barida masuk. Hah? Oke. Udah nggak ada. Udah nggak ada. Hah? Apa? Ini. Jalannya kowe. Sudah. Yang di Zoom langsung diingat aja, langsung di. Oke, yang di Zoom siap lagi ya. Biar ada banyak foto yang di Zoom teman-teman, karena masih ada yang belum open kamera.
Terima
Please
kasih.
open the camera
Hmm.
and feel free to action. Okay, 1, 2, 3, action. One more time. 1, 2, 3, action. Action. Okay, thank you. Sesi hari ini sudah selesai. Terima kasih atas partisipasi teman-teman semua di sini. Semoga 2 tahun lagi Siidef dapat berjalan kembali. Akhir kata, terima kasih.
Oke, terima kasih.
Thank you all.
Terima kasih teman-teman semuanya.
Oke.
Sampai ketemu lagi. Terima kasih Pak Profesor Hariri.
Terima kasih Pak Ben.
Insyaallah.
Sana, Pak. Dadanya, kamera.
Berjumpa.
Insya Allah Pak Hariri. Mudah-mudahan ada rezeki ketemu kita.
Boleh
See
minta.
you in Malaysia and Bandung.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Please be in touch. Kita berkomunikasi nanti. Oke, assalamualaikum.
Sure. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.